And we are back with another week of Light of Thylea plays Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Y'all, it has been a long 2 weeks. I miss being on camera. I miss being in a streaming situation. Being streaming. Yeah, that's grammar. Um, it's been nice to take a couple days off. I hope everyone at home had a good Thanksgiving. I hope all of you guys obviously had a good Thanksgiving too. The announcements I'm going to try to keep pretty short, just to get us back into the action ASAP. But first things first, we are going to be doing a Secret Santa on the server. So if you didn't read the announcement, Tyler, boop, 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 this way. Tyler,
over here. I'm this one.
is going to be handling it this year. So expect a message that is going to send out tomorrow where we have a little bit more on the detail front. I will set up a ticket bot, so if you're interested, it will automatically enter these things for you. And when that does go through, Tyler will be in charge of managing and matching people with one another. I forget, what did I say, Tyler? We did a $20 or $30 max? I forget.
20.
$20, good. So $20 max. Totally just, if you want to participate, awesome. If not, not a big deal. But it was super fun doing it last year, so I'm excited. And it's, it's weird saying that. It's like saying something we did last year and we're doing it this year again, and it's gonna happen again next year. Y'all, this is the community. Man, it's so fun telling people, especially new players, like, yeah, this is the thing that has been happening. And the honest truth is, it wouldn't be a thing without you all. The people you guys are currently seeing on the stream, they are monumental because their beautiful faces are on the stream. You guys get to see what a game is like with us. So thank you, Six. I was thankful for you guys this season. Anyway, away with all this emotional crap. I gotta kill. Hey, Brissa, can you just like resummon your summon real quick? I gotta kill something to prove that I'm a bad DM. Mean. But yeah, so that is one thing. Another thing, looks like the community one shot for this month is going to be Krampus. I'm going to be using Giphy glyphs. Is it Giphy glyph? Glyph Giphy? One of those two. Giphy glyph. I'm pretty sure it's Giphy glyph. Darker Dungeons, which is just like a one of those. Just Google it and Google will help you get it right. Y'all, I sometimes notice when I type things out is like I forget how to type things. Like I had to actually I pride myself in being able to write things correctly, and I was like, oh my god, autocorrect has destroyed my ability to actually think of how to write things out correctly anymore. Oh my god. But anyway, so
you know what really sucks is raising a dyslexic child in the age of autocorrect.
Oh, I mean, speech to text is going to be like the next stage of that, right?
Yeah, it's really challenging when she's like, trying to help her understand the right way to do things, and then she's like, oh, the phone just fixes it for me.
Yeah, it's like how can you argue with that, right? It's like she's not wrong.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from. I definitely, as a dad, I totally get where you're coming from. But it's also like the next generations are just going to be like, yeah, but do we need to have that knowledge? It's like, shit.
She asked me the other day, do I really need to know how to do all this math? And I'm like,
I was just going to say, it's the spelling equivalent.
Unless you're going to be an actuary.
Yeah. It's like,
no.
Are you going to carry a calculator in your pocket one day?
Exactly.
As it turns out, yes. Yes, I will.
Yeah. We don't need to type anything. We just ask, hey, Siri.
Exactly. Have you seen that? Kids can like type in their homework on Google or like some site and it does it for them. Like they even just take a picture of it and it auto solves it. Mind-boggling. The shit that they get to cheat with nowadays. I actually had to have like interact with another human being and ask them to give me their information. So Krampus is going to be the one shot that I'll be preparing at the very least. We'll see what the other DMs want to come up with, if anything at all, but I'm excited. It's going to be dark, gritty. It's going to be a much more meaningful situation where you have, a little bit more of a hardcore mode on D&D. And I know my players will probably pull up their eyebrows and say, David, you already run hardcore D&D. No. This is going to be sweet summer child compared to what that will be, which I'm so excited about. And Spider, thank you for resubbing. Speaking of resubbing, the last announcement that I have that is going to be big is, of course, the giveaway. because we didn't end up doing last Thursday, I decided let's include today as well. So anybody who's going to cheer, follow, subscribe today is going to also be entered into last month's giveaway, which is going to be art done by GeoGeo on the server. So one of your characters is going to get some GeoGeo art. Super excited about that. Thank you again, Delthamus. As a reminder, as Delthamus just did, you guys can actually use your Twitch Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, Twitch is owned by Daddy Bezos. You can use those accounts with one another, sign up things, yada, yada. However, the one thing that kind of sucks is you do have to go and do that every single month. I understand. That sucks. That's me here trying to remind you guys of that. So, yeah. So as far as that stuff goes, that is it. That is all I have for announcement thus far. I am super excited to delve back in. Unless you guys have anything else, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. With that, as we delve back into tonight's session, previously on Light of Thylea, you guys had left Mitros, traveled along the coastline, watching the old woods in the northern parts, that ultimately led kind of to the heartland itself, because you guys knew this would be the fastest way to get to the Deadfalls. You had traveled upon the Pantir with Captain Thylea, who had Ophelia, who had championed you guys through the rough waters, wherein Sidon ultimately attacked you guys, as Granddaddy Sidon had a very stinky eye for the party, and Estrella just kind of did little water walking, finger guns up at the sky. You guys made a landfall, ended up leaving the Pantir behind, taking Ophelia as well as Bulbog with you guys, traveling overland through completely sulfur and deadlands, badlands, ultimately to the Deadfalls themselves. You descended down a canyonous, whitewater rafty area until you finally found the legendary ship, the Ultros, made out of the, well, ancient oak that once was protected by Estrella's aunt. Now her soul seems to be bound within the Ultros. You guys got to see and meet and ultimately defeat Estor Archelander, the infamous and probably most infamous of all of the Dragonlords, as he had led the charge against many of the Fean war armies that Sidon or Lutheria had swung against the settler races. As such, you guys had Estor, well, first of all, Estor had you guys swear an oath to the ship that you had protected, or essentially made you ride or dies with the Ultros, so just never forget. Furthermore, you guys also had to defeat 3 of the Thanes that were the captains at one point, or not captains, but the officers of the ship under Estor, who apparently had turned against him for the war crimes he had committed, including slaughtering the Geigans of Thylea. After defeating those Thanes, you guys had Estor wanting to possess one of you. He had picked either Rhodus or Brissa, and left the final honor of having that co-pilot up for you two to decide. You understandably both said, fuck that, and
pilot.
immediately started fighting a bitter fight against the ghost and the many things that it started throwing against you. However, you were able to defeat the ancient man, his soul being sucked down towards the netherworld. As you all found yourself still within this weird dreamland that he had trapped you guys inside of, you suddenly found yourself waking back up as Bulbug and Ophelia helped you back up to your feet, and you were within the bay that led to the old woods. The Pantir off to the distance, the soldiers and mariners still kind of keeping up camp along the shoreline. And that is where we're going to pick it up this week. Anything that you guys wanted to throw in that I forgot to mention?
Did you mention that Brissa still doesn't have a dragon?
I was gonna make that joke. Damn it! You got me there. So for the last 4 sessions, Alex has been remaking the new meme where it's like 2 weeks without dragon, 3 weeks without dragon, 4 weeks without dragon. If you guys didn't know, check out. You can get those for free, by the way. The player's guide for Odyssey of the Dragonlords, amazing. And the subclass that Alex is playing with Brissa is really cool. The Dragonlord Paladin. At level 7, fancy things happen for them, which is why he feels that way.
But not a dragon.
It's the sad Pablo Escobar meme too, so it fits. It's a sad Pablo sitting there.
All right, cool. aside from sad dragons are sad, anything else that you guys want to call back to? Okay. You stand upon the ship, wharfing the Pantir that is upon the beach to your north there. As you're rocking back and forth, you see Thylea hailing towards the sailors as they hail back towards her. Bulbuck just kind of looking at all of you guys. You still bear the wounds that you apparently received within this weird dreamland. As Bulbuck kind of goes,
I didn't know what to do. I couldn't help you. You kept going back and forth, and I tried to protect you, but I could not see from what, so there was no protection. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. It was a weird scenario.
It's all right, big boy.
What happened?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, but let's just say Estor Arcalander really was a dick, was being the operative word.
We were conned into coming into the ship. He wanted us onto the ship.
But I don't know much about history, but I do know that Estor Arcalander has been dead for a long time, yes?
It was his ghost, and we destroyed the ghost.
you see Bulbuck kind of look at the ship all kind of weird and
Is he still...
There's a
worry.
weird thing
No.
here.
Okay.
Sort of an in-between.
I don't like things that can just boop through walls. It's not my favorite.
Oh, I'm so tempted to Misty Step. right now.
We're aboard the Ultros, all of us.
Mhm.
And are we, what body of water are we in?
you guys are within the Cerulean.
Yeah, are we aware how the ship got there, or did we
Yeah,
just kind of
like-
come out of the dream and we're like,
You came out of the dream. You are in the bay.
so how the hell did we get here? This is really weird.
We suddenly started moving towards the wall, and then it got faster and faster. We braced for impact, and then, well, we didn't hit. I opened my eyes, and there we were.
So you didn't see the weird, shifty dream world?
Weird shift? No dream.
Are you sure this isn't a dream?
Maybe we're
Maybe this
still
is a dream.
asleep.
Could be.
Maybe this is all just made up in our minds.
Oh, and you see Bulbuck
You're gonna
just
break
like
You're gonna break
pacing
it.
back and forth, losing his mind.
I pinch Bulbug.
No.
Oh,
Uh,
because you wake
it's not
up.
a dream. Not a
Not dream. You silly.
Oh,
You see now they're actually the sailors are just swimming the hundreds of feet between the beach and the Ultras itself towards you guys as Ophelia comes back towards you. Well, shit. I have no idea how you Malakas were able to do this, but do it you did. This is phenomenal. This is insane. This is the Ultras. We teleported. How did you do this?
we're not sure, but
Oh,
basically, long story short, the ghost of Estor Arcalander pulled us into a dream world, made us swear an oath to the boat, which I'm not quite sure if oaths made in a dream count, but we'll delve into that later. And then he tried to like basically take over Brissa, and we drove him out of Brissa, and then we killed his ghost, so his ghost is now being punished by Lutheria. And then we woke up and we were here, and Bulbug tried to explain how we got here, but he said he closed his eyes at the last minute, so he's not sure.
we teleported.
Also,
I'm pretty
side
sure.
note, we should probably talk to you about being the captain of the ship and if you're going to be and taking care of the ship, because if the ship dies, we die.
What? What do you mean the ship dies? It's a ship.
If it's destroyed. And it
Okay.
kind of has a It's got her aunt's
Metaphorical.
soul kind of bound to it.
What?
Long story.
Just don't crash the ship, or let people
I have
destroy
no
it.
intention of crashing this ship.
I don't think
What
anyone
captain?
intentionally crashes ships.
Exactly. I mean, there are scenarios sometimes, when you are on the world waves, you are going to maybe ram into each other, and if you ram it the wrong way, you might sink yourself into the ship. Anyway,
Boy,
There you
no.
go. And then you do that, and we all die.
I don't want to do that. Oh, God. Wait.
No pressure.
That's why we're telling you.
You're serious? Oh.
Yeah.
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 Oh, why did you do this to this poor woman? Oof.
Well, I mean, we're not super thrilled about it either.
Oh, also, technically, since you weren't part of the oath, you can't really command the ship or make it go where you want it to go. One of us has to do that.
Or you can take the oath.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's also an option that we threw out in the open.
Or we could test if Estor was full of shit and she can pilot it anyway.
Oh, that's also an option.
It's also true.
Okay, let's try this.
But something tells me if the ship went and teleported on its own, it might be a little harder than just, all right, sails down and I'm on the rudder, So,
Two rows, not y'all. Row to the right. Row to the left. It's good. It's weak work. I recognize it.
That was bad. That's bad. You should feel bad.
Yeah, I should like it. So, okay.
Are we like docked right now or no?
No, I mean, there's no dock inside. You guys are just floating upon the waves, kind of like in the middle of the bay.
I mean, if you want to try and take it for a test drive.
How do you? There's no people on the rudders.
You sit in the chair, and then in theory it should do it.
Okay, let's try this shit. You can see the anticipation of the captain. Her, pretty calloused orcish hands are just kind of flexing. She almost looks like a giddy kid about to sit on Santa's lap as she kind of sits down. Move.
you might want to tell it where.
Yeah, that's a bit vague. You
Move to
should-
the beach.
Yanni decides to make sure that he's not standing next to any big heavy people in case it suddenly lurches and Bullbug falls on him. That would
As
be bad.
Bulbuck lurches on, I'm just kidding. Nothing happens. The ship does not move even a little bit as she goes. Interesting. Well, let's wait until the rest of my men are here, and we're going to try again. Over the time, the rest of the sailors come aboard, and they are absolutely wowed. It's like, if you have someone, Brian, help me out. What's a rare car? Like something that if you saw it IRL, you'd just be like, holy shit.
A Mazda RX-7.
That one.
Really?
Ow.
Really? An FD3S? You look up a 2003 Mazda RX-7. Tell me the last time you saw one, and tell me it's not one of the most beautiful cars ever
The
designed.
last time I saw one was probably
Sounds
the last
legit
time
to
I
me.
watched Fast and Furious. But
Yep.
Oh, man.
What is that
just
car?
the first thing that comes to mind for me is a '69 GTO Judge in Orbit Arch. But anyway,
We'll appease more people, and we'll just say an Audi R8. That's a good.
There you go.
Most people like it.
We gotta show
Nissan
it to the
Skyline.
people, damn it.
Nissan Skyline. How about that?
Okay.
Sorry, tangent.
This is a car stream now. Bye, guys.
It's the car's turn now. We have been hijacked.
I'm sorry, I just fell asleep. What's happening?
Yeah, same. I think it was meep 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 meep. But
Brian and I share more than one hobby. That's
yeah.
Just kidding, guys. Fuck you.
All I'm saying is my stepdaddy tried to teach me about cars, and then I realized I was gay and he was an asshole, so...
Oh, he would have been so proud of you guys.
But that is the reaction that the sailors have. They're like, "Did you see that rudder? Did you see those?" I don't know what people would actually say about that, but those are the reaction you're seeing across the ship as the sailors are absolutely going out of their minds. Like this is an artifact come to life to them in a more literal sense than they even realize. As more and more of the sailors are going underneath the ship, and you guys go under deck as well. You see that none of the benches are filled with anyone. And as you guys kind of look across it, you see again that large drum at the very end of the aft, before that kind of like little galley area. And the only thing that seems to have remained from the dream realm is the blindfolded drummer.
Oh.
Oh.
Does the drummer look ghostly or
She does. And-
corporeal? Okay.
Nope, ghostly. You can see kind of translucently through her, the wall behind her. And the sailors kind of like, see that and go back up. It's like, oh, Captain, can you help us? She kind of goes down there, looks back towards you guys. Is that the permanent fixture?
Apparently.
Probably.
I mean, in the dream world, all these seats were full of like ghostly rowers, so this is an improvement.
Okay.
Is she like aware of us? Is she like staring at us or anything like
Hey!
what's the ghostly drummer doing?
Hey, you! Ophelia just kind of yells at the drummer. No reaction.
Why am I always surrounded by people with no people skills?
Can I go look and see if that weird chest to the space is still down there?
All right, you go on there, and as you put your hands upon this thing, it doesn't have.
Oh, is it
written
still down
on
there?
it.
That's what I wanted to find
There's
out.
still a box in there, and as you kind of kick it back, you see the golden shine of gold in there. Gold upon gold upon gold coins. Hundreds and hundreds of coins are in it. No bottom.
I'll just close it.
Yeah, those might be cursed.
All right,
Question is,
the
how many
weird chest
times-
doesn't have a weird wormhole into space in it, so no one needs to touch it.
How many times can I tease Alex with a gold dragon egg tonight?
You're cruel.
Maybe it's under the gold.
He's
Bruce is
like,
good
I need
enough.
more fucking bread
Okay.
for this shit. All right. As you guys explore the rest, the captain's quarters is still there. The storage area underneath is still there. But yeah, long story short, other than that, other than the ghostly drummer, everything is pristine as you saw it during your dream vision, minus the whole ghost thing, plus the ghost drummer. All right. Well, we have everyone here. You see Ophelia kind of like forlornly look towards the Pantier. She goes, I will come back for you, baby. I swear. Man. And then she looks down upon the planks of the of the Ultras. It's okay. All right, let's try this again. Everyone, find as much leverage as you can upon the... Yeah, go under. There you go. Spread out a little bit more. You're trying to get as much pull as you can. 2 people per oar. Yep, spread out. You too. I know that you're friends. Skip. Yes. And she kind of like just keeps directions as she has all of the sailors kind of spread out. There's certainly room
Her
for
whole
100...
crew from the Panther, is her whole crew on the ship now crewing?
Seems like, yeah, the entire crew ended up swimming over. As you know, they kind of spread out. They don't have nearly enough people to actually man all of the oars around the Pantier. You guys, or sorry, the Ultras. You guys will probably have to help out, but even that is not anywhere near enough to kind of scratch the surface. So this is going to potentially be a relatively slow voyage. As she kind of goes, all right, everyone, go! And as they kind of like start to try to move the oars, just nothing happens. We can't move it.
I think we're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why don't you go sit on the throne and see if you
Yep,
can make it
there,
work, and that way
Yeah,
you
but-
won't be just rushing around opening everything and letting ghosts out.
Briss will go muttering it. I would let ghosts out, you know.
Again, you left the word "again" off of that.
This is
Has
what-
Rhodus tried raging and rowing yet?
We'll see. That's the plan C.
There you go. All right. Brissa, As you sit upon the throne, you immediately feel a tingle of power surge through your entire nervous system. Your hands are touching the golden gilded wood, and you can feel almost the thoughts. You can feel the ocean kind of lapping against the outside of the planks. What do you want to do?
She will just think to Mitros.
And as you do, suddenly the sailors are like, "We can do it now!" And you see some of the oars kind of move as from down below, the ghost lady immediately goes. As you see the sailors are starting to row away, the other oars are kind of pulled into the body of the Ultros. As you guys are starting to kind of at snail speed, starting to move and then kind of move around. As you're thinking it, you look behind you and the rudders are actually, both of them, there are two of them, seem to move almost by themselves. You don't have to do any kind of maneuvering to it like you did on the Pantier. These ones are just somehow moving with your will as you kind of like, to the left, to the right, spin now. And you're like, and the sailors are just like, "What are you doing?" And there's just like this silly yacht face on Brissa. It's just my yacht. Have you guys seen the Paul Rudd being the sexiest man alive now? And he's like, I guess I'm just going to do a lot more yacht things. Hilarious video if you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't. I'll have to go look that up.
But you guys turn around and are starting to move along the way. As you do, suddenly something weird happens. You feel suddenly the water seems to become kind of disassociated with the ship itself, and it seems to kind of move through it significantly faster than you would have expected to. And Brissa, as you're trying to like keep control upon the ship, you kind of like visualize where you're going, and it seems to move faster than you expect it to. It doesn't like pick up or anything, like the floor does not come off, but you actually do feel that there's more pull. You can feel the air pulling against your hair much more strongly. There's definitely a magical speed to the ship that is on.
What happens if Brissa stands up? Does it just stop? Does she have to stay? Does she have
As you
to stay
stand up,
seated?
nothing happens.
Oh, okay. Well, it's headed to Mitros. You just have to sit and ask. You guys could try it out if you want.
Wonder if we even have to sit.
I mean, I didn't feel it beforehand when I was just walking around. When I sat down, it was kind of like the central point.
That's
Maybe if you like lay down and hug it or something. I don't know. That might work too. But
I wonder if we can delegate without Ophelia having to make the oath. If we could just tell the ship, "Hey, listen to her in our stead when we're not here."
could always try.
All right. I'll go. I'll run up and sit in the throne, or whatever we're calling it, the helm. Oh wait, that's Spelljammer. My bad. Wrong
As you
D&D
suddenly
ship.
feel a psychic connection overtake your body. Do you have a spell slot? But as you kind of
You mean all of them?
Yeah, exactly. As you feel the tingle rushing through you, what do you think, say, or do?
Is anybody there? Just thinking it, like directing it at the ship.
And suddenly you hear a hello. But as you kind of feel, it's more the brush of sentience upon your mind rather than formulated thoughts. It seems to be an emotion that is communicated, one of joy and elation and the feeling of seeing and enjoying the sun after a long time spent indoors, let's say during a pandemic or something.
Leia, is that you?
And you get a warm feeling kind of settles in the pit of your stomach.
We're gonna treat you a lot better than Estor did.
There's a joyous just euphoria that seems to kind of spread through your entire body.
So just so you know, the one over there, Estrella, she's Demetria's daughter, so she's your niece. And the other thing I want to talk to you about is there any way that we could like delegate the ability to direct your movements to someone who hasn't made this oath? Like act in our stead if we're not here?
As you mention Estrella, you get a mixture of emotions, both joy and pain kind of intermingled with one another. And then as you speak of that, the feeling seems to kind of withdraw from you.
So that's a no.
You
Okay.
get the feeling of confusion that seems to kind of over.
Okay. I would very much appreciate it if you would let Ophelia, the half-orc over there, act in our stead. Oh, I said the wrong sister. It wasn't Demetria. It was can't think of her name now.
Mercy?
Poor Anna.
Malice.
No, Valis is the god.
Here's the tip I'll give you. It is the namesake for the old Tros.
Wait, what?
Huh? Versi. Versi was her mom. Is her mom.
Right. Sorry,
bad.
now my brain went sideways. God damn it!
Yeah, Yanni did say Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that part right. And then Alex called me on him being a dipshit. But I appreciate it. Anyway. Okay, so we're not all, those of us that have sworn this oath aren't always going to be on board. So it'd be great if you would listen to Ophelia, the half-orc over there, as well. That's all I'm going to say.
The confusion seems to kind of turn into frustration.
Okay. Okay, I think I understand. I'll hop out of the chair. I don't think it's going to work. I think you're going to have to swear the oath. I tried twice. The first time she was confused. The second time she was getting frustrated.
Yeah. You know, I'm probably starting to overthink it anyway. I would be the captain of the Ultros. For the light of Thylea. This is an oath worth swearing. If you would have told me this a week ago.
Yeah, me too.
Alright then, what do I swear?
That thing that Yanni remembers because for him it was like a half an hour ago.
But do you
But
have
the-
in mind?
Damon doesn't remember because it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Alright, as you guys make her swear as well, she swears the oath to it. And as she sits within the captain's chair, she definitely starts like going through some maneuvers. The other thing that is interesting is as she speaks, she seems to kind of address her sailors, and suddenly her voice is super naturally loud, almost like a thaumaturgical effect is just carrying her voice all across the ship and down into the lower decks, perfectly crystal clear to hear for the sailors as well.
I think it worked. Also, that's a cool trick.
Isn't it? Thank you all for this opportunity. This is the dream that every small child grows up, well, every sailor's child grows up with. And as you guys sail on, again, supernaturally fast, as the hours kind of sail by and darkness seems to overtake, you see the sparkling stars kind of starting to shine through up above, and you can see just the beautiful constellations up in the sky. As Ophelia sees you, Estrella, kind of like often doing what you might be doing during this time, she kind of comes up to you and says, so you're the Star Child, yes?
I have never been called that, but I suppose I am.
Do you want me to call you Star Lady? We can do that too. I think the other one has IP issues. I can't call you that one, but...
You could just call me Estrella if you wanted to.
Sure. You know, I always loved them too. They tell their stories
Really?
across the sky.
Hmm.
They have help you navigate too. My father, when I was just little, told me about the different constellations. I don't remember all the stories he told me, but I always loved listening to him. Which one is your favorite?
Well, the Golden Heart has always been my favorite.
Oh yeah? Yeah, I could see that. For me, it's always been the bear.
Oh?
It's a long story, but you see, my father, he had this large tattoo of a bear that was all stretching down his shoulders all the way to his lower back. When he would be working on the ship, he would take off his shirt and it was just glistening and magnificent. And when I asked him why he had chosen the bear, he said, because it is the constellation you follow to go home. And, well, one day he didn't come back. So that was the day when I started to hire onto ships. Ultimately, I became my own captain. And this day I look for the bear, that I can bring him home.
I'm sorry, but he would be proud of you. Look at you now.
Stop it. I mean, he would be. Look at this. This is insane.
Of course you would.
I think I've resolved a long time ago that he is dead, but, you know, I'll be with trust now. On the off chance. If he's still alive, I would love for him to be able to see this. Anyways. The Golden Heart, huh? I can see that for you.
What is this, the brightest star in the sky?
It sure is. It is. It makes it easy to align the others. Good question for you. You said all of you had some kind of a conversation about Rhoda's having some kind of a marriage arrangement. Is this true?
Protus?
Yeah.
What can I
Not really
say?
a shot.
Oh,
For
my
Rhoda's.
bad.
I'm in demand.
Oh, are we alone or are other people around?
Yeah, it's pretty much
Yeah,
you
just
guys. Like the
drop-
next closest person is maybe like 30 feet away, and she's not saying super
Oh.
loud. The lapping of the waves.
And ignore my chiming in. I thought we were kind of.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, am I not there?
do you know, I'm not sure about Protus. He's handsome, so perhaps has a marriage, but I don't know. I don't know.
You do me a favor.
Why?
Can you
Oh.
find out?
Sure. Oh, yeah, of course. Do you want me to tell him that you are
No,
interested?
don't tell him that.
Oh.
I will take my own time with it. There was just something about surviving the Kraken together and then seeing him battle it just in its maw and then coming back out of it. Listen, I've had my crushes during my life, but I don't know what is happening to me. I'm hat over heels. There's butterflies in my stomach. I don't usually get like this. Thank you. Really? See, from my experience in the past, really you just have to wink at them and do the little head nod, and that's all the talking that they really need. They're kind of simple creatures that way. She kind of squints around. She's gonna make an insight check on you. She goes, yes, thank you for helping me out. She kind of punches you on the shoulder a little bit. Ow! And then walks away from you. Whomever you want to be. This is co-storytelling. You tell me. Flip a coin, roll a die, decide one is heads and
Don't look behind me at anyone. Just be normal, right? So our new captain has a bit of a crush, and she wants me to talk to Rotis for her, but I don't know what to say to him. I want to do this right, you know?
I mean, you don't have to say much. He's already betrothed to someone.
Oh, right. Do you like her?
She wasn't the best.
Oh,
It's more of an obligation because it's an oath.
great.
If we push off a cliff, though, it'd probably, end the oath.
Yeah. What?
It was a joke.
Oh, I know that.
I mean, she does strike me as a bit of a pirate at heart. She might be for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So what should I say to Rotis?
Tell him he might have a potential way out of his marriage.
Oh, okay. Great. Yes, I might have a potential way out of your marriage. Right. Anything else? How much do you like your betrothed? Do you like her?
It couldn't hurt to ask that.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. And then I will go to find Rotis.
Rotis has just chatted up with the sailors. He's chumming it up, trying to get in with the dudes.
Are there any shanties being sang on this yet?
oh, hells yeah! If I had anywhere near millions of dollars, I would try to get the OST for Assassin's Creed Odyssey for this because they have some cool sea shanties on that. But yeah, imagine something along those lines.
I am going to
a pirate's
just
life for me.
tap him. Try to tap him on the shoulder if I can reach it. Just, Rotis.
How can I help you, Australia?
Oh, help me? No, I have questions for you.
Oh,
How are
okay.
you?
I can help you with answers. I'm great.
Oh, great. And I'm still kind of holding my stomach, which was slashed open. I kind of might have bandaged it a little bit, but I'm probably not looking great. Well, it is a nice night, right?
No, we have something for that. I think Asaria can help you with that. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't hurt at all. Are you having a good night?
So far, I can't complain if I'm being honest.
I want to see how this all turns out. Can I do a stealth check to try and observe from the shadows?
Sure.
Yes.
I don't think we're being sneaky necessarily. I don't think you would even take notice,
Whisper to me what to say.
Oh.
I can't even access my character sheet.
So you were really brave in that fight, and I just wanted to say sorry for turning the creature into a rat. I know you wanted to kill it. I'm sorry about that. I was scared.
I'll get over it eventually. It will take me some time, but I'll come to terms with it, and we'll move past it together.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Do you like your betrothed? Are you a fan?
Scumrider. I would. Are you familiar with the particulars of our arrangement?
No.
I would say this is more of a political arrangement than a love affair.
Oh, she's not pretty, or you're not attracted to her.
I think the problem is that she hates me. That's the real problem.
Oh, Oh, well, that sounds bad.
But her father, he loves me, and he's very rich.
Oh. So you're using her to get to her father?
Using that word is doing a lot of work there that it doesn't need to be.
Oh. But did like women or everyone or?
I would say her father is using me to get closer to my father.
Oh. So
It's all a
It's-
political game.
up in the air. You're not sure. Because
No, I'm definitely going through with it.
do I know that Kasaria is near me? Can I like glance over and
Just a good try. Yeah, I mean,
give her a help?
Alright.
I'm giving her a help love.
Kazaria is
Wait,
is doing the Thor in was it Ragnarok? Not Ragnarok. Yeah, it's Ragnarok. Where he's kind of like she's like, yeah, oh, I'm not here.
I got a 16 on my stealth check. Did you
Rhodus
notice me?
absolutely has no idea, but yeah, you do notice her actually, just barely.
I choose to fail.
Ah!
I give her one of those.
That's,
You must be wondering why I'm asking you about your relationship.
Certainly, it's an interesting. I'm a person of interest for a lot of people. I understand. It's valuable information.
Great.
You're just like flex during that, or
he did in my head.
But the
Some
reason I'm
interest
asking you,
in more ways than I'm not objectifying. Stop objectifying me, God.
Hercules.
I know someone, a friend, who happens to be very taken with you. A friend of mine. A very good friend of mine. So if you weren't
I don't say anything. I'm gonna say wait for it to continue.
thank you for that. If you weren't into, perhaps you'd be interested in considering someone else.
I don't know. I feel like I can't just give up on my oath. To be honest, a wedding is sort of a formality. Some might say.
Oh, right. Sure. So you take more than one wife, perhaps, or?
Well, I don't know. Don't know. It's a good question.
It's a real confusing conversation. I don't know what's going on. Great. Okay. Well, thank you. It was a nice talking to you about this. If you decide you change your mind and want to consider someone else, please let me know.
I'll keep you posted. I'll do it.
Thank you, Rhodus. Bye. I'll run away. Run
Do
away.
away.
And I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
like go one way, but then I'm gonna like circle back around to where Kasadia is and go, I don't know two wives? I don't know how. Help.
I would not be surprised if, for one, he didn't think you were talking about yourself the way you handled that, but you kind of lived under a rock. There are certain individuals that they share more than one romantic connection.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It seems
Oh my
it seems like his proclivities lie on that, along with that type of arrangement.
Do you think there is alcohol on this boat? Like,
Not a bad idea. Let's go look.
great.
All right, you guys go scrounging for some alcohol. Indeed, the sailors did bring over like waterproof knapsacks that they had wine and other imbibements. And yeah, there you go. You stein it up. All right.
So
Great. I'm going to avoid her at all costs. If she like looks like she wants to talk about it, I'm just going to avoid it and pretend like it never happened. That's my strategy.
All right. As you guys will spend some time upon the high seas on the Ultras, what if anything else would you guys like to accomplish? We can also fast forward, see what else might happen or might not happen. Up to you guys.
I just want to know what's happening with the Pantier. Is it just gonna float there forever?
You go and do you ask Ophelia?
Yeah, at some point.
She goes, well, I was going to ask you once we got into port, but I would like, well, first of all, we need to hire on more crew.
Sure.
My crew is not going to be enough. I offered those who wanted to stay that they could, of course, stay with us. We will have to hire on new people. The others, whoever was willing, could become the next owning crew of the Pantier. I offered everyone to buy me out. And he's going to have a new captain. And I'm going to have a new ship. A new crew. New mission. And would you be
Yeah.
okay to drop off that new crew of the Pantier at the Pantier when we get the chance?
I mean, sure, it's fine with me.
Hey, Rotes! And she just starts yelling at different other people, asking the same question. Is it okay if we take it, the crew that wants to go back to the Pantier once we got new people in Petros? Is that okay with you? I couldn't hear you.
I don't care.
The mic just decided I'm going to clip the shit out of that.
I don't care.
Brisa, Lyra, Casaria, Estrella,
What?
can we detour, drop people off at Patir? I needed to leave it behind. It's okay, we come back to it, yes? It's a favor for me.
Weren't we just at the Pantier?
We're gonna go back to drop off the people once we have more people to... I'm trying to... It's a logistical nightmare. Come on, help me out here. I'm trying
Just
to make
say
schedule.
yes. Just say yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we find staff and then we come directly back is what we're getting at.
Yeah, that's essentially what she would ideally like to have happen.
Or, you know, we can hang out in Mitros and take care of some business, and she can make a quick round trip.
We can
Nice.
absolutely do that too. I have the oath now. I can control it. You trust me with the baby? Kind of slaps the side of the chair.
I mean,
The leads are alone to defend this ship.
I mean, you would be hiring 100 people to man it, but you know, alone. This is the largest warship that has ever been constructed in Thylea. I don't think anyone is going to fuck with us.
yeah.
Are we gonna make all of our Roman fighters too?
Roman, what?
I said, are we gonna make sure all of our Roman are fighters too?
Oarsmen.
Yeah, of course. They're called, sailors. They can do both.
Seaman.
Definitely seamen, yes.
That sounds really expensive. How much? I don't know if we have that much gold to do that.
Oh, it's going to cost hundreds of gold. No question about it.
Oh.
We'll just give them that allegedly, like, haunted chest of gold.
Which you don't know about, to be fair. Lyra
There's
didn't.
supposed to be a dragon egg around here somewhere. We can probably hawk that.
On
That's true.
Give him an evil glare.
Damn, Yanni.
Yanni, I think that Brisa really wants that, so we should not do that. That is not a good plan.
Well, I said hawk. That means we can buy it back later.
Oh,
He,
I like the
he
way you
makes
think.
he makes a lot of sense, Estrella.
Chris will just walk away.
just
Straight.
do the like stand up straight and just hawk yourself into the sea.
It's not like there's room on this ship for a dragon. They're big. They're huge.
I mean,
Maybe
she
it's
kinda
a
looks
sea
around.
dragon.
You could actually probably land a dragon on this.
Shh, shh, shh.
Oh. Why are we being mean to Brisa?
Why are we
Because
doing
she sicked a bunch of ghosts on us, trying to find a dragon egg.
I know,
In a
but you
dream.
kind of poked her for that already. Do
Yeah,
you
I'm
make
not
this a
done yet.
running thing?
I'm not done yet.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Gonna back into my book.
I know Alex's face just flashed blue. He's going in. He already knows your IP, Yanni. All right. Yeah. What if anything else would you guys like to address as you are on this sea voyage for a few days, maybe longer?
I'll take some time to learn some sea shanties from the sailors.
Alrighty. I can't do the low parts or the high parts or the in-between parts, mostly because I can't hit a note to save my life. But imagine the multitude of TikTok sea shanties that went around. Shoot, that feels like forever now ago. But
That's true.
yeah, you guys push on, and again, it's a weird, disorienting feeling as you are pushing through. The weirdest thing of all is that you see that the storm kind of moves across the ocean again, and you guys are actually going out into the open ocean. Ophelia explains, "This is normally not possible. I don't know how it does it, but the ship is capable of traveling past these natural phenomena completely unimpeded. We can go out into the sea. And Sidon cannot get us.
I mean,
Sidon cannot get us.
It's supposed to be able to travel into the Nether Sea, so this is less surprising than that it can travel
You
into
don't
the Nether Sea.
understand. This is something we cannot do. All routes, all around Thylea, always have to be planned around beaches, around the seashore. We can never take easy direct routes, or we risk being lost at sea, dying. Sidon cannot get us.
So what you're saying is you can get to the Nether Sea then with a normal boat, but you can't go out in the middle of the real sea.
No, boat. You can't. No, boat. You cannot go to the Nether Sea with a normal boat. I mean, are you just fucking with me, huh?
A little bit.
I'm gonna fucking get you back for these. You just wait.
I'm still nursing a wound. I'm in a mood.
And she goes, left! The strongbow. You kind of like catch yourself pretty well. Make me an acrobatics check. Let's see how well you handle the severe left turn there. Easy enough. You kind of catch yourself easily. Everyone else kind of gets jostled around as she just harumphs at you, rolls her eyes.
Well, I got a low center of gravity. What do you want?
Right! And that kind of goes back and forth a couple different times. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, I'll probably spend a little time with Nomad at some point, but not anything that needs to be played out. Just, continuing my studies.
Do we take a long rest?
With that, you guys retire to the galley. Ophelia will claim the captain's cabin unless somebody else does. Hearing
I
none.
do.
Lyra?
No.
Okay. Ophelia
I want to
takes the-
sleep in the crow's nest
Oh. All right, sounds good. As you
because
look
I can
out,
get to
it's-
it. But if I can't fly tomorrow, I don't know how I'm gonna get down.
The triremes even
Siren
have
with a fear of
birds?
heights.
We'll build one.
But yeah, as you kind of look out upon it, it's perfectly quiet, perfectly beautiful night for the rest of it. Go ahead and get your long rest in. And in fact, make sure that you click a couple long rests, for you guys end up traveling for quite some time. It's about half a week, 5 days, before you're able to make it back to Mitros. But back to Mitros, you guys make it unimpeded.
You said this thing could get us anywhere in 3 days.
And she goes, I don't know, but I think we don't have enough people on it. Apparently, we do need to have a full complement, or otherwise it's not going to work.
That's fair. So were the losses to max hit points supposed to clear with the long rest? Okay, cool.
The only thing Brissa would do during those days is make sure she searched the ship up and down.
And
You look through it. I'm not gonna mess with you. You only find a golden egg, but nothing else. No, you don't find a golden egg. Get out of here. There's nothing. You had the offer. Esther was right there saying, I'll give you a dragon. All I need is for you to completely change your personality and suddenly roleplay an evil genocidal maniac instead of your normal, very lovable character that you were. Totally reasonable exchange. I don't know why you didn't take it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do it. All right. As you guys come back into port.
David,
Mm-hmm.
how much gold was in the chest?
Did you check it?
Yeah.
So you go through it, you kind of kick it back open, and you start pushing things away. It's old coinage, but it definitely belongs to Mitros. You're pretty sure that there's 1,000 gold in there at the end of the day. Give or take, 7 coin.
How
You're gonna
much,
lose track in multiple times. You're like, oh, shit.
how much do you think that weighs?
Oh, shit. There's math for it. Damon, help me.
What is it? A
Like a
pound
0.2?
for every 50 coins? No, that's not right.
I'm gonna say
10
it's
coins?
if you're thinking about trying to covertly carry it around, it's gonna make enough noise that everyone would notice.
No, David, I
Hmm.
have a bag of holding.
I think it could fit that.
It can carry 500 pounds.
Fine, wait, D&D.
The first thing I googled says 36 coins to a pound.
Well, that's just absurdly random.
Oh, wait.
Well,
I mean,
it's because apparently they say that a coin weighs a third of an ounce, which means 3 coins for every ounce. Wait, that's not right. That's bad math.
Yeah. So standard coin weighs about 50 coins weigh a pound. Okay. This is what D&D is really about, everybody.
Just tell me how much money I have.
It's about 20 pounds worth of coin. I think. Yes. Wait, it's built in.
Wait,
Hold up. I can
what?
just do that into your character sheet. I just realized.
Yeah.
Gosh, dang it.
I was gonna say it should be built in.
So if I just
Is
add
it?
1,000,
Yeah.
let's see what you're at.
God.
Yeah, you can carry that. Even just you. It's 20 pounds of coin, but which doesn't seem like all that.
It doesn't seem right, but
Yeah, there's.
Are we gonna?
maybe they're super thin gold coins like
Yeah, yeah.
wafers.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of vanilla
Well, yeah.
wafers.
That's probably what I do on our trip back to Mitros is every night after everyone's asleep, I just go down and put more coins into the bag.
Make me a stealth check, Lyra. Let's see. Let's see if anybody notices.
Six.
Everybody notices.
Yep, literally everybody notices. It's like you knew it was a bad idea, but you wanted to have some fun, so you set up. You thought this would be kind of a fun game. You kind of set up some crates. You put the bag of holding kind of on top, and then you just started jumping and making throws at it as clink clink clink, ping 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 ping.
Yeah, that sounds right.
As
I mean, I wasn't gonna not tell anyone.
there's multiple sailors looking in. Brissa has her head around. What do you say?
But you're gonna split that up, right?
I mean, yeah.
There was some pause.
Do you
there.
want to
I
carry
sensed a
1,000
little
gold?
bit of pause. Yeah, I think she was probably not going to split that. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty light. Doesn't weigh that much.
Fine. Here you go.
I'm not gonna. We should just split it into equal portions.
Okay. So
It's 166 gold coins for everybody, and one left over, ish. Actually, a couple left over. It's 166 each.
One of you guys can have the leftover ones. I'm very generous.
How many of us?
66 gold, 6 silver, 6 copper, and a little bit of cheap.
All right. Well, I mean, if you want to start counting, 1 gold coin, 2 gold coin.
Oh, I just remembered something I wanted to do.
What did you?
We do have a long trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have that sort of dancing now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I would attune to that during the voyage. But also because I have that now, I'm going to give my +1 mithril Zephos, or however you say it, to Casaria so that she's got a magic weapon in case she needs it for something.
Because I want to put it from one inventory to another. Congrats, Casaria. You now have my little prick in your inventory.
That's right. I did that again. Stop it with my little friend.
Stop it, Marissa. Stop it. Anything else?
Sorry, it's all new to me.
Yeah.
You know? It's all new to me.
Oh.
So.
Go back and rewatch like the first or second episode. The first time I attacked something with a dagger, I was like, I'm gonna stab it with my little prick, and David just goes.
And then he clicked it, and there it was on the screen. Little prick.
Alrighty, as you guys set back into the docks, you know, you can see the soldiers kind of gathering at that as they're just like yelling back and forth, and very quickly upon the dock where you guys are being ushered in, there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people pushing into the streets. Their togas kind of just pressing up against each other, looking, craning their necks, trying to find out what is coming into the bay here, as they see the Ultras with a full sail. And you guys, who's currently on the captain's seat? If you guys want to have Ophelia be it, that's fine. But
Roll a d8, and if it's an 8, or roll a d7 because it's digital.
Brissa, the Dragonlord, Lord, kind of like pushing into the dock there as you're sitting, and then kind of standing up. You kind of like awkwardly wave at the people as you see there's just like cheers. Light of Thylea! Dragonlords! As people are just absolutely cheering as you guys are setting into that stuff. The sailors are jumping off as they're just hugging people, and there's just a general insane euphoria across the dock as people are, you know, picking you guys up, putting you on their shoulders, and are starting to carry you through the streets. As Ophelia kind of just shouts after you guys, I'll make sure that the ship is safe. You go enjoy yourselves.
Rotis, doesn't she look beautiful, helming the ship?
Yeah. She does.
We are so lucky to have her.
Is that what you're? She is beautiful.
Isn't she? Like a dream.
We are lucky to have her. That's true.
I'm just gonna wave and give her like a thumbs up, like as I'm talking to Rotis.
David, can you blind roll for how attractive she is and tell me?
I'm not gonna. No, you've got the image. You've got the image. You know what she looks like. Yeah, let me drop her down. This is a subjective call. I cannot determine that for you, my friend.
So smart, wise.
What's her charisma score?
She's got a bird.
She actually does have a positive, not insignificant charisma score either.
Because, you know, sometimes it's not about what you got, but how well you work it. So
Yeah, and sometimes it is about the number of your charisma score, the size of your modifiers. You know.
Captaining your own ship is pretty hot. So. Wow, are you? Come, that's not that funny.
No, I'm just sorry. I was seeing Marissa's face, and I was like, and I'm trying to imagine like what is going through Estrella's face. Like she's only experienced like love and romance through books and stuff like that, and this is like, so this is what real love is, huh? Oof.
Yeah, sheer panic. Sheer panic. Outside of books, this is way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's cute.
Right? Mm-hmm.
You do see, we'll say kind of like in her leather jerkin, she kind of walks around and she's yelling at people. I mean, she has rippling muscle. Like, she is absolutely built. It's that orcish blood, the genes, like, definitely have endowed her well. She moves about. The bird is kind of circling high above, just seemingly excited that it is on solid land again. I mean, she is a badass in her own right. She definitely fought like a fury during the battle with the Kraken. All right. As you guys are within Mitros once more, where do you guys want to go? What do you guys want to do?
So my question for everybody is like, how much of this gold are we going to need to use to buy, to like hire a crew?
I was thinking we could probably, maybe ask, maybe the palace to pay for it, maybe.
I mean, we could. I kind of don't want to give Castos any reason to feel like we work for him, though.
Brodus, you could ask your dad. Or your father-in-law. Either one.
Your dad or your daddy, yeah.
What do we need this money for?
What? We just need a crew.
I mean, we found, gold on the ship.
We
How
could
much
just
do you
spend the
think?
ship gold for a crew.
How much do I need to ask for?
I mean, if you're asking, ask for as much as you can get.
Well,
What's
how
that?
much is a crew? I go to Ophelia. I don't wanna-
600,000 gold.
People-
Let's
these
go with
people-
that.
No, these people don't know. I go to Ophelia. She'll know how much a crew should cost.
5,000 gold.
He goes, well, it just kind of depends. How long are you going to hire them on? I would say this. You are probably going to get some of the best sailors that Mitros has to offer. This is the Ultras. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Paying them, maybe give them a share of the spoils of the places that we will go, the treasures we will find.
And we're
What are
headed.
the places you'll see?
We're headed to Hexia first, right? That's the first stop we're going to.
No,
Yes.
only because in the sequence of it, like, I mean, I don't know what you guys have planned, but Moxena has been pretty clear that she's not going to give up the location of Hexia until you help her become Queen of Themis.
Okay. Well, we've got plenty of adventures coming up that we can go sell in the city. I could take up like recruitment duties in our downtime in the city. I'm sure I'm pretty likable. People know who I am.
You're pretty full of yourself, but you're recognizable. Just do me a favor, take I don't know, take Yanni or someone with you. He has a mind for the numbers, yes?
And likable. You forgot likable. And then I'll walk
Yeah,
away.
he grows on you. Hey, that's the face.
Again, I'll go up to Yanni and say, I think we need to go recruit a crew for this ship. I mean, we found some gold, but Ophelia seems to think that just our name and the name of the Ultros will be enough to sell some potential sailors on a journey and a promise of a share of our spoils. What do you think?
Seems reasonable.
Is there anywhere? I think Rhodus would first head to like I don't know if there's any like fighting or like gladiatorial places around. That's probably where he would head first to start spreading the word, even if it was just like from a promotional perspective,
Yeah, I mean, there are the fighting pits where the Minotaur slaves are pitted up against, competitors for it's to the death kind of deathmatch situations. It's bad news, but that is gladiatorial combat. That is cute.
I guess I meant like this is where like all the games were held. So if they were using them for something else, but I guess if they only use them for nefarious purposes, do we want to go there? Do we want to go to the slave trading place, to the whorehouse? Which terrible place do we want to go to?
Who are you asking this? Anyone?
Yeah, Yanni. I mean, yeah, we're just discussing like what is our strategy for recruitment here.
I've never had to recruit a sailor before. Maybe.
Recruiting them for adventure, though.
Well, that's
Not for
fair.
sailing.
But we also, we don't want Ophelia to have to like train everybody because we're bringing in a bunch of landlubbers, as they call them.
That's true.
So, I think bringing in some skilled, like more skilled at warcraft than at sailing is probably wise.
Are you saying we should look for sailors on the dock of Mitros? That is an interesting proposal.
Probably taverns around the dock would be good. And if they're a little into their cups, we can probably get them to agree to work for less.
Well, do you want to split up or go together?
I think we should go together. Because, I'm your bodyguard.
That's true.
And stuff.
I need my protection. And we'll walk off the ship. I suppose.
And, we can always good cop, bad cop if we need to. We convince people.
Are people like at the dock noticing that this is like the Ultros and like looking, or like is it recognizable?
Yeah, that's what I was describing. Like you guys,
Yeah.
people are cheering. They're picking you guys up, like absolutely hyped about the fact that immediately as the word spread, it is like wildfire. The Ultros is back.
Is Moxena there?
Currently, no.
We're gonna have to find her.
All right. While Yanni and Rodis are going to do good cop, bad cop on
If we need to.
landlubber sailors, what did the rest of you guys want to do in Mitros? And assume that you might, spend some time there to prepare things, train yourselves, etc., whatever you guys might want to do.
A couple ideas, but I don't know which one to do.
Number them, enumerate them on a list, and then roll a die.
Well, I'm probably gonna do both of them. It's just what order.
Exactly. If you need a minute to think, Brissa, what are you up to?
Brissa would try and do some research to find out if she can find like what island the Lotus Witch is on, or not. If because that's the island that that her and Lyra had to go to. It was where the Lotus Witch, and then she would, and then at the end of the days she would just go to the Temple of the Five and just heal any people that need healing, like she did last time. So,
Alrighty.
I'm not going to turn over every brick in Mitros looking for a dragon egg.
no, Brissa's given up emotionally. She's like that sad, dejected child that's. Yeah.
So what sort of is she an Oathbreaker now?
Yeah.
So as Brissa, you go do your research. Casaria, what are you up to?
You're muted, Justin.
Sorry. I said, we've already been in this damn city so many times now. I feel like there's not too much for me to do.
Only so much carousing and partying you can do.
Yeah, Sari's already seen the sights and she's already pissed off some people on these streets and everything. She doesn't really need to go rousing up more trouble, so I guess I'll go and I'll see if I see anything fancy in the shops.
Alright, sounds good. What about you, Stray?
Question about where I'm from. Is it here? Is the temple I grew up in here?
No,
Okay.
you grew up in a more remote place, like it's like the foothills of the Rocky Mountains kind of thing. And this is like you grew up more in a rural area, and now you're.
This is the big city?
Yes.
Is it my first time in the big city?
Second? But yes.
Second, yes. Okay. I think I would probably follow. I would just follow either Casaria, Lyra, or Brisa around, just like a little puppy, just kind of like
Well, we'll put
looking
you.
around.
We'll have you be in the background of each one of them. Lyra, what are the
Okay.
2 things that you end up doing?
I want to go because I got more money. I want to go to Agalia. Is that her name? I want to go to back to her shop.
Alrighty. The tall owlin woman kind of going about there as you come in. You can see the beautiful interior with the showcases of the different magical items, the pedestals with the little descriptions, standing actually mostly empty. She's been pretty busy and doing fairly well for herself as you come in. Oh, hello. Welcome back to my store. You're that nice siren of the Light of Thylea, yes? Welcome back.
That's me.
Please, come on in. Tell me more about your travels. You brought the Ultras back, didn't you? You see her
Yeah,
big
it was
eyes kind of focus in on her.
crazy. There were ghosts. We killed Estor's ghost. He tried to possess a couple of us.
No.
Like, crazy. Also, Estrella, her aunt is the ship. That's kind of weird. I don't know how we're gonna handle that. I know. So I had a question for you. I know last time we were in here, you mentioned that you could enchant things, and I was wondering how much that would cost.
Depends on the enchantment. What are you looking for?
Well, I have these bracers, and I hold up my arms. And currently, they're super cool, handmade, one of a kind, but they do nothing.
Oh.
So I just need something to maybe make it less likely that I'll get stabbed or hit or shot with an arrow. Any of those things that might happen now that we have a magical ship that can go to the Nether Sea.
Absolutely. There is a very complex kind of enchantment that can be placed upon this that will... It shifts the way the fate works around you to put aside strikes. It is quite expensive.
Yeah, you said complex, and I immediately knew it was gonna be a lot.
Yeah, it will take some time too, but it is possible.
Do you have any enchantments that are less complex?
For bracers. You want to be hard to hit, yes?
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I will need, regardless, is an element of significant power. Something gleamed from a creature. They are usually the ones that hold the most power in the first place. Then I will need to draw power from this item, and for my time and unguents and certain ingredients, it will still need more gold. It will still not be cheap. It will still be expensive. I could try a lesser enchantment upon this set.
Okay. Just give me a list, starting from the first enchantment, and then going to this one, and then maybe the lesser one. What's the price range?
I mean, the least one that I could do is maybe a nice glamour or something to make it look nice, like there are roses growing out of your bracers and looking like little, tied to your wrist bouquets and the like.
It sounds super fun, but glamours I got, and I'll turn myself into a Galia.
Well, in that case, that might not be the best choice. Other than that, how about you tell me what you want out of it? Let's see what I can do.
So here's the thing. I fly.
Sorry, Damon calls his cat like this. Are you kidding me? Amazing.
Who's this?
It's so cute.
Oh, we're about to get kitty butt. Kitty butt.
Yeah.
She's in a weird mood tonight. Nope.
But yeah, so
Censored
I fly, and that's really hard to do when you're wearing actual armor.
Mhm.
So if you had something that would make the bracers act like armor,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Right, that still would be at least 1,000 gold.
You know what?
Yes.
I kid you not. I just had that much,
Huh?
and then I gave it to my friends.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, so that's probably not gonna work.
Oh.
Um,
Well. Ooh, about
Oof.
you come back when you have that gold and we talk then.
you know, that's a great idea.
I apologize.
No, you're fine. No, I get it. Look, know your worth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So few people that support you sometimes. They just want to, they come in here and it's like, yes, but I've got that enchantment before for only 5 gold. And I know that is a lie. But they keep pretending and then they say, oh, the enchantment didn't work. And it's literally working in front of my eyes. And then they try to haggle back and forth and it goes back and forth like this. One time, somebody didn't want to pay and I had to turn them into a pig for 3 days.
Sounds like they deserved it, honestly.
They did.
Yeah. I mean, if the enchantment was only $5 the first time, why are you getting it again?
I
Clearly.
don't know what a dollar is, but yes.
Oh, it's a siren thing.
Official canon. Sirens have dollars. You just go to Siren, the United Sirens of America. Like, yeah! And there's just little cowboy hats. They fly around the mountains.
Stand dollar, right?
Yeah, it's worth the same as a
Come to the
gold,
beach.
but not a shiny. But yeah, no, I'll keep that in mind. 1,000 gold sounds great. I will make a note, and I will be back. Do you have any more plants?
Plants?
Yeah, I bought like
of
3.
course,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, what are you looking for? I have a beautiful, just a bunch of new cuttings for the spider plant here. We have a couple. Do you like fungi? Not fungi, but I mean yes, fungi. I like growing them. You kind of need to keep them in a dark place, though.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're gonna be
delicious.
on a ship, so
Perfect. Damp and dark.
yeah.
Would you like this arrangement? And she kind of pulls out this like long line of like a ceramic trough almost. There's like multiple kind of growing.
Yeah, that's great.
Fantastic. Here you go. 2 silver, please.
Do you have change for a gold?
Sure, or you can just donate. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I just checked my pockets. I've got 2 silver. Here you go.
Here we go. Thank you so much. Now, you stay safe out there. It is not always smart to go chasing waterfalls and, trying to get all the gold in the world. Sometimes it's more important to enjoy the moments with your friends. Okay?
I mean,
Have a
the
nice
moments
day. No,
have been crazy, but yeah.
Alrighty. As Brissa, go ahead and make me an intelligence check with advantage, as the records that you're seeking are partially also kept in the temple, actually.
Ooh. You said intelligence check?
Yeah, intelligence.
Oh. Oh, that wasn't with advantage though. Oh well.
Yeah, second one is a little bit better. As far as the Lotus Witch is concerned, you see the name not actually directly pop up. There's sometimes in the footnotes of other scrolls. As for the rest of the day, you kind of go over those details with some of the scholars there, but no, nothing specifically mentions an island being connected with the Lotus Witch as far as you can find out. It's kind of frustrating by the end of it. You kind of just rub your nose bridge there's suddenly a hand that touches your shoulder. And as you kind of like look up and look over your shoulder, you see Aesop. He goes, "Hello. It's been a long time since I last saw you."
Oh, hello. What are you doing in Mitros? So it's a long way from home for you.
It is. Well, now that the dragons have returned, and you are well on your way to become the next Dragonlords, I believe, it is my place to be here. Is the rumor right? You returned the Ultros.
Yep. We did that, and it was pretty crazy. There was Astor's ghost. He was kind of a dick. So we did, and we stabbed him and killed him. I guess again. You re-killed. I don't. Can you kill ghosts? I don't know.
Please,
Sent him down.
wait. Slow down. He was a ghost.
Yeah, he was ghost.
Astor did die. I mean, a long time has passed, but still, the gods.
But now he's really, really dead.
I think, as you know, people who die in our world don't really die. Instead, they go to the underworld with Luteria.
Now he's with her then. So
You can imagine what she will do to him. Though that also means that she now has domain over him. Fought him.
we did. Yeah. It was it was a tough fight, but we got by.
Good, I'm glad you're safe. Though I am concerned what Luteria will do with this soul now.
It's a fair concern.
Don't mind me, I'm just an old man overthinking things. I'm glad you have made it back. It is wonderful. I have brought the horn with me as well.
Oh. Why?
I just figured that it's keeper. We should probably keep it safe. Temple seems to be the safest place now. I heard the miracle that was performed. Even Sidon should not be able to pierce through it now.
That's fair.
Before I forget, I actually was asked to send word for you. I guess I'm a runner now. Valus wanted to speak with you. And I don't mean everyone. Wanted to speak with you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess I could go see her. It's a little nerve-wracking.
Oh, I mean, it is always an honor to walk within the gods' shadow. Though I've always appreciated her kindness.
Yeah, I could do it after I'm, done with these books. Have you ever heard of the Lotus Witch? I'm trying to find her. I'm gonna guess that she has my dragon egg.
I have not, but I can continue the research for you. I am quite good at it.
Oh, sure, yeah. If you want to, I've read this book. I might have skipped a few pages because I was getting a little bit bored. But
This book is about the Heartland. It has nothing to do
Oh.
with islands whatsoever.
well, that's probably why I didn't find anything about the Lotus Witch.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
See.
Anyway, well, you tell Valus, thank you again for having me at the palace from me, and it was nice seeing you.
It was nice seeing you too. You have a good one, Aesop.
You too. And with that, as you walk towards the palace, after some minutes of walking, you see up high above, a Casus upon his dragon just kind of circling up above as you're going through like what looks like combat routines with one of the bronze dragons. fighting back and forth with one of the soldiers there. You see them strapped into that, going through like just what is that called, barrel rolls and the like, as they're kind of like flying there. They're not using any of their breath weapons, but certainly are practicing sparring up. You walk through the halls as your feet your sandals go through here. You ultimately come back to the place where you had seen Valos originally kind of entertain a lot of the tax keepers. She's currently kind of sitting by herself. The Amazonian warriors outside let you through, and as you go in there, she's kind of just holding this very, very ornate chest kind of upon her lap as she just runs her fingers kind of gingerly and tenderly along it. She hears you coming closer and doesn't even turn around. She just goes, "Thank you for coming. Come on over here. But just a minute, if you would."
Oh, yeah, no worries. I'm not in trouble, am I? Like, this is not about the whole Estor thing?
Estor thing. I couldn't watch you when you were in the falls. What happened?
Oh, Estor was there, and, we kind of had to, re-kill him again. So, because it was Ghost, and he was there, and so it was, and then I'll recount everything that happened to her.
Good. He's, how does Rotus's bodyguard like to say? A malaka. He did well, and this was something that was necessary. Acastus had hoped that you would die in the attempt, and you did not, and his hidden anger over it is one of the most delightful things I have been able to observe in a very long time, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's not the reason I asked you here. Do you see her kind of like struggle for a second, just looking down towards this? She goes, "I have something that I believe you will need now. One thing you will need, and one thing that I will need of you." She kind of gingerly opens the chest upon her lap. And you see that there's just like a whole bunch of beautiful red maroon kind of silk that is bunched up. And on top of it, gingerly laid, you see an interesting round device. This right here is the Antikythera. It almost looks like a golden compass of sorts. You can see different symbols carved upon it. There seems to be a ruby on the side, kind of glowing with a red light, almost giving off some smoke on the side. You see all this intricate gear work inside of it. And she says, "Don't let Acastus know that you have the chest. The Antikythera is going to be the device that you will need to sail the seas. As you know, the Cerulean Gulf and the Forgotten Sea are vast and harbor, and many dangerous. Some of your destinations may even vanish and shift before reappearing viciously to work by the primal powers of Sidon and his minions. The Antikythera is a cunning device. It utilizes both magic and mechanical ingenuity to chart a safe path across all of the oceans. Unfortunately, I believe there is still a gear missing here. Until that gear is replaced, you will probably not be safe to navigate the Forgotten Sea." Rissa, you would know the Cerulean Gulf is kind of like the inner sea. That's where all the like smaller islands and the like are, in kind of central India. And the Forgotten Sea is all of the area around and like out to the like actually sailing away from Thylea. I suspect that the Order of Sidon is responsible for this theft. In which case, Gaius almost certainly has the piece. Now, he departed yesterday for the Order's headquarters in the island of Yonder. You can find your way there. It might be a good thing to do what you need to do. Get it back.
No, I think that would definitely make Lyra happy to kill Gaius. So that I mean they probably make us all happy to kill Gaius.
Mm.
So
Kind of rests her hand as you're kind of looking over this golden device with the gears kind of clicking inside of it. She kind of gingerly touches the silk. It seems to still fill most, like with 5/6 of the chest itself. Kyra and I did some research. It has been a long time since the Oath of Peace, and we lost track. I'll be honest. By our calculations, you only have 2 months before the Oath of Peace officially comes to a full end. 60 days to confront Sidon in his Tower of Praxis, and Luteria in her throne in the Nether Sea. You cannot renew the Oath of Peace in time, and I fear. Think of what will befall our city. The armies of the Titan will slaughter the people of Mitros and soak the land in blood. Titans are weaker now than they were during the time of the First War. You'd be wise to gather what power you can on your journey. The right weapons, the right knowledge, with the people. Perhaps you could challenge the Titans. Destroy them. Good.
that does sound pretty. It does sound pretty good.
Now, there's one more thing. I am weary of where exactly Castus got his eggs from. There were no dragon eggs. The dragons had been killed. Most of them. I don't know how he got his hands on them. And I fear that there is something at work here that I'm going to keep investigating. But she kind of slowly tucks the silk itself and pulls it back. The light in the hall seems to kind of shine down and shimmer and reflect as you see a beautiful oblong shaped object, revealing the golden scales inside egg.
Priscilla will just like she won't be able to speak. She's just like holding her breath.
It's a good time for a break, isn't it?
Yeah, let's take a break.
We're getting there, Damon.
Is that for me?
That is the favor that I ask for you. This egg I was able to protect, to keep away. Will you be its steward for me?
I will. Does that mean that I can hatch it? I don't really know how to hatch an egg. I'll be completely honest.
Well, there is a ritual too. I'll have it written out and deliver it to you. Are you sure you want to be a mother? You're a little young.
Like I think it's a different because it's a dragon, right? I mean, it's
Haha, you have never raised a dragon, I see. They can be temperamental.
That's probably fair. But I mean, yeah, that's probably fair.
I have faith. I've seen what you have done. The passion and patience that you've shown. He kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. She looks at you. You can do these.
Bristle will just hug her and be like, I can do it.
Yes, you can. Kind of puts her head on yours. And with that, we're gonna go to break. All right, y'all.
Yay!
See you guys shortly. Bye. Alrighty, going back in. As we do, thank you guys for staying around. Just as a reminder, the thing that I just put into chat too, share, follow, subscribe, any of those, whatever you just following. You guys are going to be entered for a giveaway of character art for your TTRPG character with one of the artists on the server. All right, as we're getting back in there, Brissa, you kind of are still in the embrace with Valis as she goes. Now, the way that I think it works is you are going to align the Antikythera with the stars in the sky, and it will show you the way directly to where you need to go. I believe that certain constellations are connected with certain places around Thylea. You're going to find someone with a good knowledge of the stars in order to decipher these. Duty prevents me from coming with you. Apologize. I would say, look to your friends for guidance. Kyra said she can't come. She had hoped she could tell the story of the heroes.
I mean, I know someone that's pretty good at, the whole star thing, right? They like literally turn into stars, so, I'm pretty sure they know stars pretty well. They've tried to point them out a few times too. I got lost pretty fast, but...
Alice just winks at you, full knowledge. I think she will be a good guide. Maybe study the stars together.
Yeah, I'll give this to her and tell her, 60 days. That's not a lot of time to that's not a lot of time at all. Thank you for everything.
No. I feel like I'm sending a child into war. I feel as if I am just leading you up to a slaughter. And yet I and the others are impotent in our ability to truly help you. Sorry.
I mean, after the 60 days you can, right?
Yeah.
Good to know, at least. We have you after 60 days, so to speak.
You will always have me.
Do you know which constellation is associated with the Lotus Witch? Because I tried reading some books and I had no idea.
Speak with your friend.
Oh, okay.
Hope she can tell you more.
That's fair too. That's fair. I appreciate it.
You can do. Cups your cheek and then turns away as she goes and leaves the room. You're left behind now, holding this golden compass that you give zero shits about, and you kind of set it down on the table as you look inside of the box one more, and there's just this beautiful, scaled yet hard at the same time, just incredible. It feels like a solid hard carapace on the outside, egg shining back at you. You see certainly spots where there are imperfections, but overall it's magnificent. It is everything that you, Brissa, have ever dreamt of. Alex, of course, but even Brissa.
Brissa, is this a private room that we're in? Is this Valis's bedroom or?
No, it's not her bedroom. Dang, Brissa, moving fast. But it's an office with a long table. But yeah, currently you are alone.
Okay. Brissa will sit down and try and summon Goldie and see if Goldie has any advice. Well, I guess, just so that Goldie can be there too, and see the egg.
Do you have the casting components for it?
I do. I will minus it.
You find a random brazier as you kind of plop it on top, kind of scraping off some of the incense that you need as a resummon. He's just
sorry, you died again.
That was really not. Oh, please. I'm not very good at the fighting thing.
Yeah. That one was, yeah, that was just really bad luck, I think, on the last time. But look what we have, and I'll pick him up and set him on top of the egg.
Oh.
I mean,
and he kind of goes crazy around it, like looking different angles, sniffing at it. At one point, like the little frog tongue goes licking across it. I think it's real. I think this is the real deal.
I mean, Alice said that she would send over, like, a ritual on how to hatch it later in our quarters. So I'm just gonna go in there, and we're just gonna wait for the ritual. It's by the door.
Oh, sounds kind of boring. You could do something else.
Like what?
I think it's probably going to be important to name this one. I mean, I had my own name before I met you. And you might think this is crazy, but you really should probably give this one a name. What if it's a girl?
I mean, I have some names.
Oh, you
I mean,
already have them picked out. You probably have a board of pins where you just have a bunch of ideas collected, don't you?
it was something like that. Yeah, yeah. So there's some names. If it's a girl.
Don't jump around. Okay,
Oh,
you were
okay.
going to say. I'm sorry I interrupted you. No, please, keep going.
If it's a girl, it'll probably be Scylla. That's what I was gonna do. And then, if it was a male, I was probably gonna do Nith.
Nith?
Yeah.
N-Y-T-H?
Nithe.
Oh.
Nice. I guess we could go ahead.
Neat day. Night. Very nice.
I didn't think about that one. Maybe we might have to reevaluate that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin the name. We can say it's Neith. Neith is nice. Yeah, didn't do it on purpose.
But yeah, I mean, because I have no idea, if it's like a male dragon or a female. Do you know how to tell?
Your little your little dragon little pseudo dragon kind of looks down and is like, well, once it's hatched, there will be either I don't feel comfortable talking about the details of draconic lovemaking with you, but suffice to say, I will be able to tell once the thing has hatched. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know if like the eggs, like maybe the patterns for boys were different from the patterns for girls. It's like who knows? I don't know.
Be somewhat larger than the girls. Yes.
Is this a large egg or is this a normal egg?
I have no idea. I can tell it's a dragon egg. I don't know what kind of. I mean, gold dragon. As he kind of like, almost matches mine.
It does. We'll be matching.
Mine is a little bit more dirty. And he kind of just like, as a cat starts like licking and cleaning his scales, just like trying to match the sheen, like holding the arm up against it multiple times.
But yeah, I think we're gonna stay in the room until, because I don't want to walk around with it. Like, what if someone like tries to like steal it or something? So
okay, I will walk ahead. Anywhere you go, making sure that you're alone and nobody spies on us. Okay?
All right, let's go to the room.
Okay, let's go. Stay here. And you see the little claws kind of go across. The serpentine that kind of goes to the left of the entryway to the room. To the right. There are two ladies in here. As you remember, the Amazonian warriors were outside of the room, not looking in or anything like that.
Oh, those were guards. They're fine.
Okay. As you kind of like take the chest, you almost forget the Antiquitera, and you're like, oh shit, yeah. In MacGuffin, you kind of put it in the chest and put it up on your shoulder as you head out of the room.
Yeah, and that'll just go to my whatever room I have at the palace.
Alrighty. Yeah, a short while later, you indeed do get the description. It calls for a bed of gold to be prepared, to lay the egg upon said bed of gold, and then use magical fire to get the egg itself to a centigrade where it is going to almost look like it will be about to melt. First cracks should appear at that point if the egg is viable.
Okay, well, I have gold, but I don't have magical fire. All right, I'm gonna stay here. I need you to go find Yanni.
What is he?
He's in the city. I think
but
he-
it's a very big city. I'm a very little pseudo dragon.
I think he was saying he was going to, like recruit sailors. So I would go to the docks for that. So I'm gonna guess he's at the docks.
Oh, okay.
You can fly really, really fast.
I can't. It's just because I love you.
Okay.
Keep the new friend safe.
Don't worry. It won't leave my sight.
Good. Oh, you looked at me instead of the egg. Look back on. No, don't
Okay.
make. No, look. Yep. The little thing starts flying out of there. All right, as we go back towards the docks, Rodis and Yanni, where you guys are trying to get some strapping young and grizzled sailors. How do you guys go about this? And as you guys describe this, my cat is pathetically meowing at me to get out of my room. So I will be rolling off of stream and I will be right back. Well, not off stream, but you know what I mean. Anyway, come on, meow meow.
Forever, David.
Shout out to David's cat. Give him a cameo.
We are going to. We're going to be looking at, whatever bars that are closest to the docks that we think that sailors might congregate at.
Now one more time for the DM who, for some reason, inherited a cat from his wife.
How do you?
The dog.
We are going to be looking at whatever bars that are sort of near the docks where we think that sailors might be congregating. Also, I expect that there's probably sailors looking for work. There's, unless there's some sort of shortage, but I expect there's a place that they sort of hang out. So we'll walk up and down the docks until we find a nice.
Oh yeah, there's
rowdy
amazing
congregation of them.
Yeah, there's amazing ones. You see that there seems to be a fish that kind of like has its eyes half open, and there's like these bubbles that are painted on the wood post, and as it kind of goes back and forth. This one is called the drunken fish. You see another one where it's just like, it almost looks like a pinup post where a sailor is kind of like holding the rudder of a ship, and it's like painted in like a weird angle where the mast is coming out of a very provocative angle. This one is called Kiss My Mast. Then you have another one. There's one called Fish and Chicks. There's Rock the Boat. Which one do you guys want to go into?
The drunken fish.
All right, you guys walk into the drunken fish. As you guys walk into the place, it is actually pretty damn busy. And the second that the two of you walk in, everyone just kind of stops. The bards actually in the corner were kind of performing something. And immediately just like, boom, 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 and everybody's like, hey, Thylea! And they're just kind of like dragging you in there by like your hands, knees, whatever they can get their hands on, as they kind of drag you forward over by like a little bit of a elevated stage in the corner of it. It's kind of a dive bar a little bit, but it's just jam-packed. And as you're kind of like pushed up onto the stage, you see this grizzled old man, like long, tuffy hair, is like completely bald in the top middle there. He's like, Joe, yo, Joe, go, go, go. And everyone's kind of like quiets down. There's a little bit murmurs in the backside. He's like, Joe, how did you do it? How did you get the ultros, huh?
You want to tell him or should I?
Get these guys some wine so they stop thinking too much about things. As there's
I was
immediately
asking if
just
you
like
wanted to
barrels.
tell him, but then you started telling him, so go ahead and tell him. That's fine.
Drink first, then tell more.
Okay.
He was haunted by ghosts, and we had to go into their realm and defeat them in order to.
The realm of ghosts.
Yeah, it was a dreamlike state. They couldn't get us out of it.
Oh. What are these ghosts?
I don't know how specific I want to be. There were various figures in history. There was. It's hard to say they could have been manifestations or illusions or ghosts. Or certainly not the real thing, though. Certainly not.
You
But they were.
you just
they
had a
sold-
fever dream, and then you found the Ultros.
Well, we had to defeat them. All of our companions, they maintained their wounds that happened in this strange dream world. It was very real.
There's a male nymph kind of in the back who goes, "Ha ha! He probably just ate some mushrooms and then had a fever dream. He probably just got lucky." And there's like a group of the people kind of laughing in there now at you and towards your direction.
Get rid of him! Get rid of him! Get him out of here!
Ah!
So, the how we found it isn't so as important as that we found it.
Yeah.
And now
There's
we need
another group.
sailors to sail with us on it.
Now there's murmurs across the people in the tavern now.
What wouldn't you give to sail on the Ultros with the light of Thylea?
There's some people that are nodding. You see, however, as you kind of look around, both of you guys go to make me insight checks.
You chose a side-on bar.
As Brodus, you're just like, these guys, whatever. These guys didn't love me immediately. I hate it here. Yanni, you kind of look around the room a little bit more, and you can see that there's indeed some people who are encouraged. Some younger sailors, definitely looking like the biggest ones, the ones that seem to have the most experience. However, just kind of cross their arms and kind of lean back as they kind of like cock an eyebrow at you, waiting to hear more.
Captain Ophelia, formerly of the Pantier, has agreed to captain the Ultros for us. Some of her crew from the Pantier is coming with her. Others are taking over the Pantier. We have an experienced captain. We have some experienced crew. We need more experienced crew. We will be sailing places that you've never been able to go before because we have the Ultros and it does not have to stick close to the shore.
You see this kind of multi-scarred, bare-chested elf, except where we would expect like long hair cascading down. The pointy ears are kind of there, but it's kind of like the cerulean bluish skin that is almost translucent that shines across. You can see fins and kind of webbing between the fingers. You realize this must be an aquatic elf. And it goes, yes, but we would be putting our lives at danger so that you could become great heroes. You might be struck down by Sidon and Luteria, and then we are in the line of fighting. You ask, what would we give to sail on the Ultros? I'd like to know what you are willing to give to those who are brave enough to sail on your ship. And there's, especially the older crew, the more experienced looking sailors all kind of nod at that as they look at each other and then expectantly towards you two.
I lost him, Yanni. I lost him.
We intend to give equal shares of the treasure that we find on our adventures to those who aid us.
You see a bunch of eyebrows kind of pop up, chins kind of raise, and kind of like appreciative nods towards each other. Right, you're willing to swear this an oath.
Fuck you and your oaths. Fuck this whole fucking world and its oaths. That's all in Yanni's head. That is the most stupid thing, and they're putting it in the Norse one too. But anyway, it just lets you railroad. That's the problem with it. It lets you railroad. But anyway.
You can always break the oath. There's just consequences.
Yeah, I plan to end all of that when I end the Titans. But anyway. If that's what you want, sure. I don't know why it takes oaths to have trust in this world. But sure.
You see the aquatic elf just kind of nod. I lean over to some of the other sailors and they're kind of talking back and forth. How many are you looking for?
Ophelia said we need about 100 people.
All right. If you're good on your word, little one, we will be there in the morning.
Excellent. Ask for Captain Ophelia.
Oh. Yeah, we will. As the awkwardness kind of continues for a second, and the group of people who are like super excited when you guys were like, we brought the Ultras, kind of cheered for you guys, are like a group of Centurions on in the corner who are just like, Land of Thylea! And the entire bar is like, ah! Both of you guys make me a perception check though.
15.
Not bad.
11.
Rhoda's coming in with a hot 11. Rhoda, you kind of lock eyes with the Centurions, and you're like, yeah, this is the dopamine that I needed. Give me more serotonin, please. As you're kind of like building up your ego a little bit with the cheers. Yanni, however, you don't let yourself get too distracted from what's going on there, and you see that indeed the male nymph and the people kind of surrounding them are not really cheering at all. They're not even raising their cups. The aquatic elf and the others are kind of raising a cup and toast to you and taking a sip. They're not like actively cheering or anything like that, but you can definitely tell, yeah, indeed, that male nymph not impressed by you guys.
I'm equally not impressed by him.
And in your head, you know that. So as you guys ultimately kind of make your rounds there, you do notice that the word quickly spreads across the taverns here. And there seems to be a buzz now in the air, generally speaking. As after a while, Rhodas, a little out of breath, pseudo dragon kind of flies onto your shoulder. Hi, I'm back.
Hi, I'm back. I have returned.
Sorry,
You're very scary.
scale ball.
You're very scary.
Thank you.
Were you successful in getting your semen?
Seems so. Yanni was able to convince them.
I would have not cracked up for fucking Alex's reaction. Damn it. Good, that is good news. We have better news though. Forget about all of these semen. We have the golden egg. Don't get them close. I don't want those semen getting the golden egg. That would be terrible news. Let's go! Come on!
Where are we going? Come on, y'all.
Follow! And flies away.
Yanni, let's go.
God forbid semen get on that egg.
Thanks for getting that joke. As you guys race back towards the palace, Rhodas and Yanni.
I imagine Goldie, as Mushu.
I wish I had the vocal talent. That aside. Casaria, Lyra, Estrella, after a while, you guys obviously could kind of make it back to the palace. And we'll say that you guys kind of walk in by the time that Brissa has laid out the gold on the bottom there, put on some sensors where it's kind of like the stuff is rising. And you guys, as you kind of walk in, there's Mushu, Goldie, kind of standing like, whoa, you already got, oh, you guys, come on fast. There's like, you can see there's like sheets put up across some marble pillars and kind of put up there with like some ropes and stuff like that. Very kind of childlike, kind of blocking off view into the rest of the shared room that you guys have. Very secret. Come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah, just go. I'll keep a watch.
Is Bressa here to provide some context?
No, yes. Let's go in there. The password is new friend. Anyway, but you don't need a password. Just go in, all right. As you kind of like just look at Goldie and like push past the sheet, you see there a very excited Brissa. As Yanni and Rhodas, you kind of got there. Brissa explained that she'll need your help, Yanni, with some magical fire to aid in this process. You guys now kind of look down and you see this like fairly large-sized dragon egg in a nest of gold.
How large size are we talking? Like, could I like fetal position in it, or
Inside of it, probably not. Around it, yeah, that'd be a nice body pillow for Yanni.
All right, so I have a ritual for Valis, and she told me like a bunch of different things that earlier today. Like it's only like 60 days until the oath breaks. By the way, so we got a lot of things to do.
so take our time. Got it.
Yeah. And she gave us this compass for you, and then she'll hand it to Estrella. Like, here you go. This is to guide the ship. It reads stars and stuff, but somehow I don't actually know how it works. But
I know exactly what you mean. You can trust in me, friends.
It's made up
No
magical
idea.
stuff. It's made up.
What magical stuff?
It's not real.
I'm more confused than I was before.
it is real. Bella said you would know how to use it, though.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Of course I do. I know everything about these stars. That is why I'm here, among my new friends.
Estrella, the incarnation of fake it till you make it.
Right?
Any person that gets into a position that they're absolutely not qualified
Yes.
for.
Been there a million times. Do you know how to do this? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yup. I'm an expert at that. Yup.
We did it a little differently. Why don't you show me how you do it here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugly. I will take it. And I will think about it as we look at that. Is that a dragon? You found your dragon.
I did.
Misdirection.
Well, here, I'll get it out of there, and I pull my sword.
No. But I do need you to cast a bunch of fire magic on it, though.
So I can do like a candle flame, or I can do like those big fiery balls that you saw before, or I can do like an instantaneous fan of flame. But I don't really have like a slow cooker. You might want to talk to the burning sacrifice lady over there. Kasaria might have better something for that.
Kasara, could you do like a slow flame and just heat it up magically?
If I could open my character sheet, I'd see what spells I have prepared. But
You
I
have
can't
produce
do-
flame, right?
We can say, we can say that you guys can manipulate magic well enough to do that. And thank you, by the way, for the raid. So yeah, if you want to, you can certainly kind of just imbue the magic of the nature around you to kind of construct this non-sacrificial fire.
Okay. I mean, first I want to see Brissa work, so I'm gonna have Brissa set up some kindling around it.
That's what the gold's for. The gold is the kindling. I think.
I don't know if I can produce flame hot enough to melt gold.
All right, she'll just take out her spear, just like start going to ham on a mattress, and just like start putting the whatever mattress stuff over there.
All right, you guys are laying out stuff. Sorry, you kind of add with your own like twig arrangement and the like, as you start burning it. Yanni, same as appropriate for you. As you can kind of like take magic again in a pure roleplay sense to kind of like try to reconstruct the arcane formula there to try to put the essence of evocative magic to kind of fan on the flames that Kasaria is producing as the flames kind of reach all around, cradling the egg, kind of flicking upward and leaving it completely engulfed in it. You do see the gold starting to shine brighter and brighter, becoming this almost yellowish bright, then turning into almost like a whitish hot, as you suddenly see the white hot kind of turn into like a bright red. Kasaria, you're kind of just getting closer and closer. Well, that's not a brow you needed anyway, but as you look upon it, you realize that there's suddenly just like these little cracks that are starting to form all around. And then suddenly there's just like a little movement.
I tell Brissa I make no promises if it's hard boiled.
And as that kind of pops up, you see a tiny little snout kind of push through. Another little crack opens and you see a tiny little claw, incredibly thin little digits kind of pushing through. As you guys kind of ease up on the fire, kind of dies down, you see the rest of the egg kind of crumble away.
I run up to the dragon so it imprints on me. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like,
I put it to my bosom.
yeah. You see its eyes are kind of completely closed shut. You see this beautiful, beautiful, brilliant, bright gold just completely cascade down its side as it kind of just like and still in a fetal position, kind of starts to kind of squirm back and forth.
Bristol will pick up the dragon and, you know, like hold it in her arms, and then it's not in my spellbook, but I can cast the bond with dragons without a material. Oh, there it is, actually.
What's the hysterical sobbing?
All right. Do you want to tell us what it looks like when you cast that? Because it's a whole long wall of text. I can do this, which at least should let you read some of it.
It's barely bigger than Goldie. How are you gonna ride it?
It's gonna grow, Yanni. It's gonna grow.
I didn't. Much.
What? You know, you've seen the other dragons. They're a lot larger. But I would say that, like, as she like picks it up and like just starts like taking off like the eggshell, you know, like any like shells, like mucus that is on it. I don't know what, you know, is inside of a dragon egg, but you know, she just starts glowing gold, and you know, it's, you know, like, you know, the essence of like a dragon just like wrapping her around with the baby dragon.
And as you do, you see its eyes kind of slowly just open up a little bit. You see the reptilian golden irises kind of focus on you and go very, very narrow and then broaden around. It's just like looking at you, and seems to imprint upon you.
I will just be like, "Oh, welcome to the world, little one."
All right. As you are going to spend some time caring for your dragon egg, because as per the spell, you also are going to need to do about 1d4 days of nurturing. So go ahead and roll that if you wouldn't mind.
I still can't believe we have no hysterical sobbing.
She's not crying. She's just super, super happy.
It's on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'll like Druid craft some like falling leaves around them and like some pretty like, you know, growth, like kind of weaving them together and like warming them.
Awesome. It's almost like a Beyonce photo shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
For Beyonce.
And then I use produce flame to like light them on fire after a little bit, just so that the dragon has something pretty to be entertained by.
And yeah, the dragon absolutely loves it, kind of plays with the flame. Actually, one interesting thing too, the little baby dragon kind of goes over and kind of sniffs at the gold. That the kind of, you actually see the bed of gold coins that you had laid actually seem to have melted down a little bit, and it eats at it almost like it's just like this melted little, you know, like hard cheese, how it's like the grilled cheese is like just becomes delicious when it just has the right amount of carcinogens in it, and it kind of just like starts to eat the gold itself.
Okay, you know, I guess
Keep it away from my purse.
Good source of nutrition.
I mean, I got good luck feeding it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get a lot of gold.
Did you lift the tail yet to see if it was a boy or a girl?
Oh, Goldie, did you Goldie, come in?
I did not yet. Kind of goes over as you see the little baby dragon is like kind of like pose up like whoa. It's all right. I am Goldie. I will be your guide through all of this craziness. All right. It's Rachmoran. And as Goldie kind of switches under Draconic, you see the dragon to kind of perk up and cock its head to the side. The skinny, cute little neck with a way too large of a head and the big old buggy eyes kind of looking back at it. Yes. Let me see here. All right. What is heads and what is tails? This is going to be for you to decide, Alex.
Heads is female. Yeah.
It's a girl.
Oh, all right. Its name is Scylla then.
Joanna. Scylla. And you see the dragon kind of look up towards you and then kind of like waddle over towards your leg and just kind of wrap itself around your ankle and like lower leg.
Oh, it just scratch it some more and pick up some of the gold coins and just like feed it to
And its teeth just bite into the gold like it's nothing, swallowing it down.
Oh. Alex is mortified, but Brista's fine.
I'm going to give Brissa my entire pouch of gold.
No, it's okay.
All of it over.
I mean, if
It's-
you've ever
it's
been a
fine.
parent, you know that's almost accurate. You might as well just put dollars directly into that baby's mouth. Or really on its butt. Dollars, man. Dollars are expensive. Yeah. That's what they should do in sex ed classes. Don't worry about any of the other shit. Just prices for diapers. Boom. Enough said. All right. As you have a cute little new co-pilot, do you guys do next?
I kind of, row, because I can't whisper in his ear unless he comes down to my level.
What's up?
Is it just me, or is the estrogen level getting really, really thick in this party? Like,
You know what?
it's you and me and a bunch of females.
You're right. We gotta stick together. That's it.
Okay.
I mean,
Are you guys trying to invent bro code? Because that's the most Barney thing in this campaign right now.
we already have girl code.
I mean, yeah.
Called equality.
So since Brista has to spend a few days caring for her dragon, I'm gonna do a performance check to try and do an oil-based painting of new motherhood with the two of them. Make
Sure.
it tasteful.
Amazing. Make me a performance check
Ooh.
based on
Oh man.
on dexterity though. So natural 2, what's your dex mod?
+2. So that's basically like a stick figure drawing. That is not a classic Renaissance painting.
I mean, it's something, all right. It's probably
I mean, we'll just put it this way: Kyra is ashamed with the 4.
you start painting it, and you know that moment when you start drawing a horse, and you realize you're never gonna fucking finish that horse drawing because it's just going to be some weird abomination. As you start drawing the head and structure of Brissa's dragon, you realize she will kill you if she ever sees this.
I mean, I feel like at some point I get some of the paint on her and the dragon instead of the canvas, even with a full.
Trust the process. Beautiful.
Right.
We should do that thing where you paint their feet and then you put their feet on the paper.
We definitely did that.
Maybe if you had tried something metaphorical, more like Brissa actually birthing a dragon.
This is a dark road.
Okay.
So that's what I spend my couple of days while Brista's training the dragon doing.
All right. During one of the nights, and again, you guys jump in with anything else that you guys want to do for the next couple of days, but during one of the nights, Estrella, you're sitting on one of the benches where you guys had attempted to fly as far into the sky as you possibly can. As you sit on one of these marble benches, and you look up into the beautiful night sky, you see the multitude of different constellations shine through once more. And you look down upon this magnificent tool that is the now of course I'm blanking on the name myself, the Antiquitera. and you can feel the power that resides within there, the clicking of the gears inside of it, the glowing of the ruby on the side, and you can feel yourself being able to kind of move it and adjust it. And as you do, you can see that certain, it's almost like the constellations themselves suddenly seem to shine brighter depending on how you turn the control wheel upon it.
Oh, that's really cool. Do I notice that something's missing from it?
Yeah, indeed, there is one gear missing. As you try to like do some essentially you can kind of click through numbers, and then after a certain point it seems to kind of like just spin through without actually catching anything until it goes back towards it. Like, it seems like the lower numbers you are able to reach with the gears, but once you get to the higher numbers, you just kind of spin through.
Okay. Well, I take all night doing that. I mean, I just like click through it and just love every second of it. And I click through it and I'm like, oh, and I'm reminding myself of every lore from every different constellation and like connecting with, you know, the stars, and those are my friends. They don't talk back. So it's super easy to communicate with them because they don't talk back. So this is my element. I'm loving it.
I'm getting the Wayne Brady, is Wayne Brady gonna have to, they don't talk back kind of moment there.
Well, I don't know. He's got a great voice. I can't sing like him, but
but as you kind of look up towards that, you guys, where are the rest of you guys as this is happening?
Well, she's spending the night staring at the stars and playing with the Antiquitera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still
probably
paying
asleep
Brissa.
'cause it's the night.
Doing what? Sorry.
Said I'm probably asleep because it's night.
Yep. Saria, what about you?
Oh, I said I'm still painting Brissa because I'm assuming this happens on one of those like few days that Brissa's doing dragon things.
Yeah, and you guys can do both if you want to. You can hang out with Estrella, engaging with that, or you guys can do some other downtime activities. It's up to you guys.
I mean, with a performance like that, yeah, I probably did take a couple of creative breaks.
You kind of start all over again, and it's still a really, really awkward looking one. Oh,
Yeah.
that's still not a dragon. That's a cat. Damn it, that's a cat. And that's another cat. That's a pig. Oh, I definitely cannot show that one to Brissa.
I mean, one of them probably had a hoof and a chicken foot.
You kind of giggle to yourself and think it's hilarious, but yeah.
Yeah. So sure, I'll go and observe Estrella at some point during one of my creative breaks.
I mean, I'm probably next to you. I feel like I'm, you know, always kind of just like next to you, trying to be your friend. Like, oh, this is cool. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, so I'm already next to you. You don't have to like find me.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, look, this is my friend, the bear. And I'll like just show you kind of like how I'm clicking through the constellations and stuff like that.
As you see
The
the
picture is
stars,
so beautiful.
even just standing close enough to the Antiquitera, you can see the stars that she's talking about kind of seemingly show up, and you see the outline of a bear as an illusion kind of almost like move back and forth.
Estrella, Valis said that you would know which constellation would lead me and Lyra to the Lotus Witch. Do you know which one it is?
Yeah. Congratulations on your sweet little dragon.
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you.
happy
Thank
for you. I could not be more happy for you. Yes, I have. The what did you call it?
The Lotus Witch. That's all I know.
The Lotus Witch. Do you know anything about this Lotus Witch?
No.
Oh, well, there is one constellation called the Trickster. If you see here, let me point it out to you. One moment. I'm pointing it out. I'm still pointing it out. Yes, there it is. You see? Those stars that are shaped like a flower, are they shaped like a lotus? DM? Question mark?
It seems to be.
Am I
no,
home?
it seems to be much more like
Oh, shit.
rose.
Oh, Yeah, so this constellation is shaped like a flower, but not really a lotus, more like a rose. So I don't know if that's it.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Well,
Um, maybe if I knew more about what you are going to find there.
yeah, she didn't tell us anything else, so.
Oh,
But that's all. That's all we. That's Lyra. Do you remember anything else? That's all I remember.
Um, you know, not really. Just
Hello.
that she's on the Cerulean Sea.
okay.
All I
That's
got.
good. Yeah. And are you finding something specific there, like a prophecy or?
Yeah, it was just kind of, yeah.
Answers.
Yeah.
All right. So I will point out to you the constellations that I know. Maybe it will trigger something. Yes. My favorite is the Golden Heart. You see, it's there, the brightest constellation in the star. You have the twins, the chariot, the dragon, the bear, the nymph, the Gigan, the warrior, the blacksmith. You see there, the bard, the centaur, the titan, the trickster, which is the one that looks like a rose. I thought that might be it, but I don't think it's a lotus. Like, probably not it. Anyway, the spear, the dreamer, the ant, the prisoner. I think that's it. Any of that ring a bell to you?
Yeah. Nope. I'm out. So.
I mean, Brissa's a nymph.
Oh, oh, me too. Sure. So the nymph is. I pointed out to you. Yes, those stars that look like a tree. That's the nymph.
Okay.
Her story is tragic. While on a hunt, King Lacanus of Paetoria stumbled upon a small grove with a single silver tree growing in the center. There he found the most beautiful creature he had ever seen, a dryad with silver eyes. And he instantly fell in love. And I look at Rhodas and kind of like look at Rhodas and then Ophelia and Rhodas Ophelia. So he fell in love. And then the dryad was smitten. And she agreed to marry him again. Rhodas Ophelia. And then even though it meant leaving her birth tree behind, but on the long journey to his palace, she grew feverish and ill, and within a week she withered and died. Anything there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, the rest of the story is a bit sad, so I won't tell you it. I know she feels bad for looking at Rhodas and Ophelia. Awkward, but okay. Well, I will think on it. Is there anything that I would remember from my past or knowing the stars that would link me to like a lotus fish? Any of these constellations?
Is very little to go off of generally, but it might be something that if you kind of rack your brain, you might be able to see what stories these constellations hold. If they indeed
Right.
are connected between islands and that, there might be hints, there might be things that the stories, the kernels of truth that gave rise to the constellation having a tie, potentially with locations that you guys seek.
Mm-hmm. I will study it tonight. I will consult the stars.
What
And
if
I'm
we just
sure by the
guessed?
morning. Yes, you could guess. This is a fun game, right? Guess. Which constellation do you think it is? Do you want me to name them again? The Golden Heart. And I go through all of them again. This is such a fun game. I love this game. This is my most favorite game I have ever played in my life.
Now we have two campaign with most favorite, huh, David?
I'll do the same. I'm gonna do Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo.
right, which as you guys kind of ask questions about the specific places, Estrella, stories, nice stories of the places kind of flood into your mind. If you want to tell them, feel free.
What about the twins?
Oh, the twins. Well, the twins. You see the two stars directly above us. They are named for Sidon and Luteria.
Oh no, not
No,
that
yeah,
one.
don't go that
Next,
one.
skip. Don't even need to know about that one.
What,
Right?
what,
No, everyone hates that constellation anyway.
what about the dragon or the centaur?
Oh, the dragon. Well, the dragon. The dragon is the greatest constellation in the night sky. It's those group of bright stars right there. Not the brightest, the greatest. What? What happened?
No, nothing. Go on.
Oh, right. In the beginning, this land was populated by only the fey creatures, the nymphs, the centaurs, the gigants, and the satyrs. You all know this, I'm sure. The first of the civilized races to arrive on Thylea shores were refugees and castaways, survivors, Dragonlords, right? Eventually. Right, so, I already said that. Yes, they carved out a meager existence living in the tiny villages of the coast, while the children of the Titans dominated the rest of the realm. You know this about the history, or should I go on?
Yeah, I think we know that history.
Oh, good. Okay. Yes. So then, the constellation of the dragon is a tribute to the victories of the Dragonlords, and a reminder that we are living in Thylea's golden age, although the end, which is why we're all here, right?
Are there any stories about like things being cursed by the stars?
Or like two best friends finding their way.
She my best friend.
Rip that. Are there? I don't know. That's a great question. Let me think. Okay, that's. Would I know that there is something about best friends? Oh, hold on. No, twins. That's not it. No.
Back up to that.
You know what? Let me think. I'm just thinking here. Just a moment.
I think cursed is probably like the more like, you know, probably yeah.
Interesting.
Is it?
All right, as you guys kind of ponder over this, what I suggest as the DM to the players, kind of stepping out of that, is we will pour over the many stories that each one of these constellations hold, and then you guys may or may not be able to deduce where these constellations will end up guiding the ship as we go forward. And as you guys now
That's fine. There was one more thing I wanted to do.
Go for it. Are we gonna have me fuck up my voice? Because I mean, I do miss him a little bit.
I mean, you don't have to. No, not him. No, not today. So I wanted to.
Fake posting.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I'm watching you, Brian. I'm still gonna have people fight you. I wanted to go back to Icarus, but on the way there, I wanted to disguise myself as Brissa.
Okay.
And I can't do Brissa's voice, so no.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to show up in Icarus's little chamber.
What time of day do you go? Just like during night or?
No, I wanted to go earlier in the day, but there was so much story that I didn't want to interrupt.
Totally fair. Yeah, during all of this, you kind of ran off as you go towards the dragon after you're purchasing, we'll say.
Yeah, like I was probably gonna go there after I left the shop. So, like that same time period.
That's good.
Yeah, so I'll stroll in as Brissa.
You do,
Gosh.
and the dragon actually has barding upon it. You see that it is fastened in a couple different places with leather straps. There seems to be a lance that's kind of attached on the side of the dragon itself. A couple different scabbards that are empty, and some other like holsters that are essentially like large enough that they function like quivers for javelins and the like. All currently empty. As he kind of turns towards you, there's half a dozen people kind of like busying themselves, like taking measurements and the like, and you can tell that they're still kind of working out the proportions and the size measurements for the dragon.
How would she do this? How would she handle this? Be Brissa.
Be Brissa.
Well, she'd probably
be
just
Brissa.
start making demands without saying hello or anything of the sort.
Oh, what's that TikTok one? Holy Spirit act.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Okay. Icarus.
Kind of looks at you and seems kind of confused. Go to make me a performance check.
Look.
Just
Damn it.
just to see if you can kind of pull it out.
God. Okay, I'm not terrible at it. 16.
Okay, Icarus kind of turns towards you.
Whoa, Brisa! Come back. You brought a famous ship into our shores. Well done. Do you like my new armor?
And he kind of like stretches out and kind of like shows you, kind of does some posing, like you know, some a Greek style like sculpture posing. For you.
It's very nice. A lot has happened, and I've been through some more stuff, and I want a rematch.
He kind of looks at you. Kind of considers you for a second. Make me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Does it become a flat roll since I get advantage?
And you have full advantage all the time against humanoids?
If I'm talking, if it's using my voice, basically.
But it's not using your voice. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it would be straight roll.
Okay.
Get for impersonating her.
17.
Icarus kind of looks at you.
I grow tired of that game. No. You know what we should do? Go back to our original, where you're going to trade something nice. Did you find something on the ship? Something nice for me?
Yeah.
Yes. What did you find?
I will
Oh, too tight.
pull out the mariner's armor.
Not very useful for a dragon. What does it do?
Well,
Holy
It lets
Spirit,
you-
activate.
right. It lets you swim as fast as you normally could move. And if you're underwater and you happen to get hurt to the point that you go unconscious, it brings you to the surface so you don't drown. And it's also pretty. It's got all these motifs. There's waves and fish and...
It is pretty.
Can I at least have one back?
You see the eyes kind of squint shut, but there's a little bit of a smirk across the dragon's face. Make me a persuasion check. This one has your normal rider on it.
19.
That and a promise.
Not an oath.
I said promise.
Okay.
That you make an oath. Ha! Oh.
I mean,
That was
they're
not
basically the same thing. Semantics, I don't know, they're synonyms.
No,
Anyway.
no, it was joke. Never come back to me wearing the face of another. Lyra.
Okay, well, can I at least show you how loud I was gonna roar? Because I was very proud of myself.
Or yes, please, go for it.
And I will cast Thaumaturgy on myself
Nice.
and amplify my voice
Cute.
and roar just right in his face.
So it's just like, ah! It's like any toddler that has ever yelled at their parent or aunt or anyone. It's just like, ah! You kind of like, and it is loud. It's like a loudspeaker directly. But I will say this for Brissa's ability. It does not do a true Brissa roar justice. As Icarus just kind of goes, not bad. But Brissa's was better.
Yeah, well,
He reaches over, picks up the armor, and kind of sets it down. And it reaches behind and kind of mills around in the silver pile. You hear something snap, and then in the claw just holds what seems like a minuscule little pearl in his grasp. Gem in front of you. One gem.
yeah. So, like, if I wanted the second one,
Then you better find me more magnificent treasures on your travels, little one.
do you... Okay. I just leave.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. As, yeah, we're dancing us out there. Brissa's cradling her golden dragon. And this group is going to have to do some studying on constellations and their best guesses as to where to travel. During your time, the next 2 days, you guys will see your Medusa friend, Moxena, once more. She kind of looks around, assesses each one of you guys, and goes, "So, are you ready then to reinstate me to my rightful position?" The cowl kind of close around her face. You see she's wearing a glamour currently, some kind of a disguise spell upon herself. You do have the Ultros now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, I expected you to be here sooner, honestly. I don't know what you could have been doing.
Other business to attend to when you told me that you needed some time. I was here as soon as I got word.
That's fair. I'm sure you still have a criminal underground to run.
Nah, I have my sights set higher.
Never forget your roots.
That is exactly what I intend to look forward to. And with that, as you guys will send me stuff that you guys want to provision the ship with, you do see that the next morning, easily more than 100 sailors showed up at the Ultros, and Ophelia is going to take charge of having to do all the interviews and actually, separating the wheat from the chaff and all that other stuff, so you guys don't have to necessarily do any of that. We'll leave it there for this week. We're going to raid someone else, and really quick, before you click away, if you follow, share, or subscribe, you guys are going to be entered for a drawing. Here in just a couple minutes, we'll try to find another stream for some character art for your TTRPG character through one of the artists in our server named GeoGeo. Fantastic artist, super awesome stuff. So if you guys haven't, or if you guys forgot to re-up your Prime sub or anything like that, do that really quick now. All right, so first up, you guys chit chat. Again, what constellations do you guys think is gonna be this Lotus Witch at? And we'll tell you. Let me double check that I'm not getting this wrong now. The
Watch
one,
it be none of these.
The one that you can rule out is Moxena is able to tell you that the twins lead you to the island of Famous.
Oh, where she needs to go.
Hmm?
Okay.
So not the twins.
Yeah. So the Lotus Witch is not the twins. That is correct. Here, let me switch it over so people can kind of see it. You guys keep hypothesizing about the different ones. I'm gonna do the giveaway drawing really quick.
You should put that gem in my inventory so I don't forget that I got it.
Fair enough. Let me do that really quick first.
Please. I already took out the armor.
Appreciate you.
So, quick public service announcement for those of you that are kind of history nerds. The Antikythera device is a real thing. The real one's not magical, obviously, but it's a real thing. Quite possibly the oldest computer in the world. They're not quite sure what it was supposed to do, but it's basically an old mechanical computer that they found in a wreck. I think it was off the coast of Greece. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, go Google it. There's some YouTube videos and stuff that are pretty good.
I was gonna say if there was a Medusa, that would have been an island because it's like a curse, right? But
Right.
are Gigans or Centaurs
Well-
cursed? I don't think so, right?
Well,
mean-
I was thinking maybe the queen.
There's a prisoner. That's
Yeah, the prisoner seems
Sorta.
most.
I read the Geigen one. We didn't think that was it. The prisoner.
Prisoner seems most relevant.
Do any of them have a story
Oh,
of something
that's
being
true.
cursed? Is-
So, for you guys' benefit,
You're just gonna post it in the chat?
that's what I'm gonna do in between sessions, so you guys have time to actually read through all of that. Alternatively, if you guys want to, until I have the drawing ready, call some out because Estrella actually has access to all of the stories.
I
So the
do,
prisoner
yeah.
is good. I do like the prisoner.
Do you want to tell him the story of the prisoner?
Oh, I would love to. Sure, I will. The prisoner, Chelsea, the goddess of swiftness, was the only god to escape her siblings, Sidon and Lutheria. Does that sound familiar so far?
Nope, didn't
Is
know
it-
about this.
Oh, okay. She escaped to an island of fire, pursued by Sidon, you know who Sidon is. Right. She hid deep in the island and waited for the storm to abate. You can see her cowering in those 7 bright stars. You see? She's kind of cowering there in those bright stars. You see? But Sidon and Lutheria did not leave. Instead, the twins. That's the twins constellation. That's over there. Remember I told you that? Right. The twins reached deep into the roots of the island, shifting rock and stone to trap their sister in a tiny chamber at the island's fiery heart. Look, you can see the red star beneath Chelsea. It represents the everlasting torment that she suffers, trapped in the island's center. Not to be confused with that red star that is next to the one that represents Thylea, who is her lover, who looks after her forever. After his vow.
Interesting.
Ah.
I don't think that has anything to do with someone being cursed, though. So, I mean, it is interesting though, because like,
everything she says about stars is she's thinks that everyone is just as excited as she is. She has no idea that it might not be this exciting.
Lotus Switch.
it would-
Lotus
Yeah.
Switch.
it would be really cool because if like that is a true story, like maybe there's like an ally we could get. You know, like I mean, you know, if that sister's still alive, you know.
What about... What about the dreamer?
Oh, the dreamer. Let me see. Let me look in the stars and find that one. Oh, okay. Yes. That black patch of sky Don't stare at it for too long. That would be bad. There is once a beautiful wheel of stars there, but they were swallowed by the ravening mouth of the dreamer. You can see her just below, cresting the horizon. You see, just there. She sleepwalks through the sky, harvesting the other stars one by one, in preparation for the great feast at the end of time. There have always been two kinds of sailors in Thylea. Some who are old and wise, and some who sail toward the dreamer. I would not advise going that way unless we have no other choices. Not, there is
Not
no
the
future.
dreamer.
No. No, and don't look at it anymore. Oh, no.
Now,
Bad.
as they're going to spend the rest of the week trying to make their guesses about which island should we go to, the winner of this month's giveaway is going to be Junkie for Pixels. Junkie for Pixels, you got it.
Wow.
Congrats to you. I will reach out to you on, on here on Twitch first. I think I have a feeling I know who this might be because it's the handle that they also use similar on Discord. So I'll be reaching out to you on Twitch first and then maybe try to confirm through Discord as well. But congrats to you. We'll be reaching out about details on how you can get your custom character art done. All that to say, thank you guys so much for watching. I will be raiding another channel, so hang around really quick as we get ready for that raid. Thank you guys seriously for so much for supporting us, for hanging out, for making this a fun experience, and it's just awesome. I love having some people just hanging out at the same time. For me personally, it's super fun. So thank you guys for that. And have a wonderful rest of your week. Reminder, don't make oaths in real life because, well, at least they don't have any binding power. But you guys have a wonderful one. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
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 Alrighty. And with that,